Good morning, everybody. Welcome to what promises to be the longest episode yet of 22 panels. So long that I think we're going to split it up into as many as four parts. Um, some of you, hi Mom, hi John, maybe Britt, have listened to us as we went through Kieron Gillen and Stephanie Hahn's Die. About a month ago? On the regular episode. Phil and Peter have rejoined us, and we're actually going to play die today. Um, uh, there are six of us here today, and we'll just kind of go around the table, and everybody will introduce themselves. And then Phil has been kind enough to actually learn the game somewhat backwards and forwards. The 400-page manual that I have read maybe 60 pages of. So everybody forgive me if I'm the player that sucks. And then we'll pass it on to Phil to start the game. So who wants to introduce themselves first?
Hey everyone, I'm Hannah. Uh, Fairly new to playing RPGs in general. I definitely haven't played this game before, but I'm excited to be joining today.
Peter.
I'll go ahead. I'm Peter. If you have been listening to podcasts, you might have heard me on the heavy metal. I think I've showed up in one other episode other than that.
Well, and
Um,
the die episodes,
oh right,
at
yes,
least
heavy
three of
metal
them.
and the die episodes.
Yeah.
Apologies. I'm Tad's brother, and I will be joining us today as the Dictator. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm Jonathan. I worked with Tad quite a few years ago, and then we bonded over comics. I play TTRPGs pretty regularly. I played a one shot of this 2 years ago, and I remember absolutely nothing about it. So it'll be a little bit of a learning process again.
Hey everyone, I'm Callum. I know Tad through Hannah, and I play on and off tabletop RPGs and random stints, and I'm coming in as the Neo.
All
All
right.
right,
And
Phil.
yep, and I'm Phil. I've been on 22 panels a handful of times, definitely to discuss the die graphic novel. And today I will
I
be
mean,
the
you even
master.
pitched that, so you
I
know.
did, I did.
Yeah.
I reached out and said, "Hey, Tad, I
Phil
really
is the
think you should
one
know about
fan
this."
that cold calls us and says, "Hey, what do you
Hey,
think
you
about
want to talk
doing
about
this?"
this? Yeah. Hey, I
And we
really love
say,
this. You
"Hey,
want to
you're
talk
not
about
paying us yet." And then he goes, "I'm broke," and
it?
we go, "Okay."
Hopefully, you don't let that loophole work for too many other people, but we'll see.
All right, I'm going to mute myself and let Phil take over. Yeah.
All right. So this game is unique in that a lot of the setup is talking about what you want to see in the game rather than sitting down with just a character sheet and starting to roll. So the first thing that we're going to decide on is what kind of tone are we going for here? Do we want more of like your standard fantasy with clear-cut heroes and villains? Do we want kind of a dark fantasy, which is the default, where there are more grayer motivations between people, and it might get a little emotionally intense, but hopefully hard fought and still triumphing in the end? Or is this? I doubt we're going to go this far, but another option is to lean all the way into the dark horror of it. And that's as a group, we definitely want to make sure everyone's comfortable with everything that's going on in the game. That's one thing that can easily happen as the lines between yourself and your character might start to blur. So does anyone else have any strong preferences just to start that out?
I mean, I've probably been like overly thinking about, the fact that die is supposed to be about I mean, first of all, that there's a duality of die where you're playing both personas and paragons.
Mm-hmm.
Personas being a character who is in essentially a mimic of the real world, and paragons being your actual character in the fantasy. And so the whole entire like concept that they like sort of introduce and is this whole entire character idea that your persona is some deeply broken concept. Um, I'm okay reeling that back, but that's where I was at. So if people don't want to play in that darkness, it'd be good to know so that like I can start pulling that out of my head and start, you know, changing in my character concept. Is all I want to say.
I think for me, I always just want to have fun and be silly. But I have a knack for pulling that off in most environments. Also, I kind of set myself up as the character that's going to be dragged out a little bit, but we'll get into that more as we get there.
I have no problem with an, I guess maybe a little bit more of like an emotionally intense game or a dark setting. I have no problem with that at all. I also think that doesn't mean we can't have fun and silliness alongside. I think those two elements actually work really well together. I think you mentioned this before, Phil, but the only thing I don't want to see is any sort of sexual assault, something like that.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely not going to happen. That is a hard line for me. So yeah, we're not going anywhere near there.
I third that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point of view for us.
Yeah, I would add on to the, I guess, fourth that, but you know,
yeah,
as many numbers as needed.
There we go.
I ate that.
Eighth that. There you go. More people than are in the room. So another aspect to cover is that this game has the possibility for player versus player content. So we have to, deciding ahead of time, do we want to try to exclude that, or the default is that, hey, during the climax, some characters might start fighting each other a bit. That'll go along with, kind of the tone and story that we've built to. I can't imagine that for our first game, for everyone wants to just get in there and start decking each other. So do we want to stick with the default, or just
I'll say that the way I envision my character, I would avoid that at all costs, but at the same time, both as the fool and I view myself as like hyper logical in the real world. I could go from avoiding it at all costs to just doing it really, really fast.
Yeah, I don't mind kind of avoiding it. I guess my real question doesn't involve actual PvP, though I guess it does. Like, with the whole dictator thing, there's this whole question of like, are we gonna allow the dictator to influence other paragons slash persona, or well, paragons, or are we not? And I'm okay either way. I just thought that should be discussed as well, especially during this part.
So to get into the mechanical risks of that real quick, so again, the kind of default for the dictator role is that you can use the voice on other players, but only if those players are willing. And the reason for that is that there's a synergy between the dictator and emotion knight classes, where if the dictator can essentially boost the emotion knight, saying, hey, I'm going to make you feel your cardinal emotion so that you can take out this threat. However, it comes with the risk that if you get a critical fail on that roll, you break the emotion knight so that they are always feeling that emotion, and then they can't use some of their stronger abilities. So if we could kind of leave that at a soft point of, hey, the other default for that is that you can use the voice to attack other players in the climax if there's conflict arising, but not to control them. So those are the couple things to consider. And I guess if we're not sure, since this is our first game, we can probably leave it at that. Hey, if you want to consider a power boost, just know that it could go very wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly okay with and really I want to hear feedback from everybody else, but I'm fairly okay if we even want to just say, hey, I have the right to say it does work or it doesn't work.
Mhm.
Even before like, I go into rolling, like I'm perfectly okay with that because I think, this is because of the cooperativeness of this game, it would be really weird for us to have a thing where it's like, oh, my character has this weird thing where
Mhm.
I can just say, oh, you're gonna go off and be what is my emotion? Loathsome.
Loathsome, yeah. Well, you can either add or remove their
Yeah.
loathsomeness and what various creative ways to do that. So I think the thing about the voice is that whenever you use it, it always works. So rather than saying that, oh, I might roll and it not work, we'll just say that you wouldn't use it on someone in that way. Um,
Sorry. Right. Yeah. What
yeah,
what I
yeah,
wanted to get at was not necessarily was that there was sort of an meta out of game context of
okay,
saying,
yeah,
like, this is an opportunity where like my character would do this. And then
mhm.
you say, yeah, I'm not allowing that. And I'd be
Right.
like, okay, then my character's not doing that.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Jonathan, since you are the emotion knight, how would you feel about receiving a potentially dangerous power boost?
Cool. I'm pretty malleable with anything.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like we've kind of hashed out the dictator role there. So now I guess if we're sticking with our, more emotional dark fantasy tone, shooting for the ending, do we want it to be a happy ending, kind of a bittersweet, complicated conclusion, or do we want to lean in and go full tragedy? Does anyone have any strong opinions there?
I need more listeners, so like happy endings make more sense to me.
Okay. Okay. I can work with that. Um,
That's fair. I
yeah.
mean, I was just gonna say, wherever it feels like it's going, but
Right. I've got some challenges in mind, but I won't be a complete bastard.
I overall agree with Peter and wherever it goes as long as it's interesting, but I
Mhm.
mean, I think if we're asking people to listen to 4 to 5
Mhm.
hours of podcasts, I'm not ready to give them the super tragic ending.
There we go. We'll save that for if we ever revisit.
Unless we want to do the Wayne's World and do multiple ending.
Believe it or not, I did consider something like that. So we'll see what comes up. But all right, so we're leaning happy, hard fought, maybe a little bit of catharsis in that way. But yeah, this is okay. We kind of discussed the things we're leaving out of the game. What do we want to invite into the game? What is everyone kind of looking to get out of this? Because this is, a lot of times you sit down to play a role playing game and you think, oh, I want to have an adventure, or oh, I just want to talk to my friends, and this is a game where it really is infinite and can go in any direction. So, you know, I mean, aside from a good time, what does that good time mean? What are you looking to get out of this session?
I think for me that it's again a very vague answer, but it means a good story. At least
Mhm.
when I'm playing with my D&D group, um, we just like to make a good story. And sometimes we go into it thinking we're going to do one thing and then we end up doing another thing. But as long as we can feel like we've played our characters and maybe they've done some questionable things, but it's been a good story, I think that would feel most satisfying.
Okay, I wholeheartedly agree to that. I hope we get there.
I think giving some difficult decisions and making people like have to figure out situations or, you know, giving them opportunities to make interesting choices throughout like combat or puzzles and things like that is what I've always found to be the most enjoyable and also tends to add to the story because people have to make interesting choices in characters when they're presented with difficult situations. So I think that's where I get a lot of fun out of tabletop RPGs.
Awesome, nice. Yeah.
I would like us to all enjoy it enough that it's at least something that we would consider doing it again, either on or off air.
Yeah, that sounds great too. absolutely. I am wholeheartedly trying to make sure everyone has a good time. That's my goal, whatever that means to them. That, like you said, that you'd want to play this game again, because there's nothing worse than sitting down to play a game and then thinking this is a terrible decision. There go 5 hours of my life because I've played Twilight Imperium and I don't need to ever again.
Kind of the way I look at games, a lot of these TTRPGs is some people when they get into it, they're always trying to make what's the right decision, and instead of doing that, thinking about that all decisions will lead to decisions are going to lead to interesting stories. Are all going to be different. Like there's never going to be one. Very rarely going to be one that's like this is the exact right decision for this entire campaign. Because otherwise, it's just a book instead of just being collaborative adventure.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely something I've been planning towards, is that you can do whatever you want. That's going to mean different things. It's not, there's not just one story, one outcome that we're working towards. It's we're landing in a world and we're seeing what we can explore. So, all right, that sounds great. A lot of good things.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry, Peter, didn't mean to cut you out.
Oh, you're fine. I was gonna add in to Jonathan and Tad and some of the other stuff said, and then essentially say, I think exploring, characters and ideas and concepts is great. So I really look forward to that, and obviously, I agree with Tad. Making sure people are having fun is part of every game. So.
All right. So now that we've talked our meta game a little bit, we're looking to have a good time, potentially emotionally intense time, but still a happy ending. We are going to go with the basic concept of rituals and the reunited sort of story set. So what we are is a group of friends who played role-playing games a long time ago. So I'm going to ask a few questions that I'm going to kind of direct at first to one person, but then let other people chime in if you have a thought that comes to mind. So I mean, the very first one here is, let's say, Tad. Why did this group initially get together?
I mean, I don't know why the group got together because I was very busy with my academics and extra stuff, but I know that you, whatever your name is going to be, were like my next door neighbor and thought that I needed to have more to my life than math club and physics club and layout of the yearbook and all of the most boring jobs at what I was like it was part of the baseball team, but I kept score and I did the nerdy statistical stuff all through school, and you wanted me to live a little, and apparently decided that role playing games was the way for me to live a little.
Okay, sounds good. So you would say you were more of the academic recluse. That was kind of you were the big brain. All right, so that's Tad. Yeah, the scorekeeper. So you were the numbers guy. All right, excellent. So you got there because I was dragging you out of it. So is there anyone else that? Okay, so I guess we could also say, Peter, what was our school like? Because I'm imagining that we were playing in high school and then lost touch and are getting back together years later.
What was our school like?
Yeah, was it an average suburban high school? Was it run down, kind of shitty, or was it like a snooty private school? What are you thinking there?
Taking it entirely from my character's perspective, I don't know if I can tell you whether it was probably some sort of pay to get in school, but
Okay.
I would say that my character sees everybody at the school as sheeps.
Okay. So I think we could probably go upper middle class public school. Does that sound good to you?
You don't want to go full on rich?
We could go full on rich. We could go with that. That could be exciting too. So
I would be the scholarship student.
Scholarship student. Okay.
Yep. I've decided that my character decided that he probably played a lot with the concepts. He was somewhat charismatic in general and started a cult somehow.
Mm.
Yeah.
while in high school you had that was what
While in high
your
school.
cult leader days. Okay, I
Yep.
believe it or not, I did meet someone like that in my high school. So I was in his two truths and a lie was that he started a cult. So uh, okay, okay. So all right. So is everyone okay with going rich kids private school? All right, sounds good. So we are doing that. Okay, so in this case, so I was the person who ran the game. Um, does anyone have a name for what the fantasy world we went to was? Which also I should say that once you have an idea of what your character's name would be, feel free to let us know. If that comes to you.
I can throw my character name out. I
Okay,
don't have a name for
excellent.
the persona name is
Mhm.
Holland Reimer, and the Paragon name is Holland the Gray.
Okay,
I am William Charleston.
okay,
Only my mother calls me Willie, and I roll my eyes, and I won't respond to Bill.
okay.
And
Good to know.
in the game, I'm Charlie Williamson.
Charlie Williamson. Okay. Uh, we might get it's gonna perhaps get a little confusing, but we will try.
That's me trying to step outside of my comfort zone. Instead of
Okay.
being William Charleston, I'm Charlie Williamson.
Okay, so you're gonna be Charlie in the game. Gotcha. Okay, that's important if anyone has that. I think-
Maybe not to
Go ahead.
interrupt.
No, you're
We
fine.
could rename ourselves so
Yeah.
that it would be helpful
That's a good
for
idea.
everyone else
Yeah,
in the chat or in the Zoom.
that sounds good. If we could figure out how to do that quickly, that would be yeah.
It's the if you mouse over
there we
your
go.
camera, it's the three dots and then should be rename at the bottom.
Okay. That sounds great. Believe it or not, I had this name picked out before my good friend next door neighbor William Charleston, but I am Parker Peterson. So all right. So we've got okay. So it sounds like we've got a few people who know their names. Okay, so we can come back to what the world was called. But I guess so now, Callum, how many years has it been since we left school? So how many years has it been since our group was together?
I think it's been a little over 10, like past the reunion, but like, not on the nose, maybe like 12 or 13.
Okay, I'm good with that. 12 to 13. So that would mean that we graduated in somewhere in the early 2010s. So that would also put us in our early 30s for everyone. Okay, gotcha. Just doing the quick math there. So okay, so now for each character, each player. Tad already had this answer a little bit of at your most basic level, what stereotype were you? So Tad, we heard what stereotype you were, that you were kind of a yearbook bookworm, math and numbers kid. But how did you go against that? How did you break the stereotype?
I let you suck me into this game and force me to be the fool.
Okay. All right. There we go. So now, okay, Jonathan, do you have? I think you muted yourself, Tad.
Said in real life, I am now an actuary.
Okay, what is an actuary?
It's a math guy.
Okay.
I will leave it at that and not bore you
Sure.
with the rest of it.
So we don't have a good seminar going. Okay. Anyway, so Jonathan, who were you in high school? What was your stereotype? How did you lean against it?
Well, what I went with is, well, I'll just go with the kid who was involved in a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Basically, not excelling in one thing in particular, but partially just because of being involved in 20 different things out of like, ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this?
Okay. So kind of okay. So you were the club collector. You were the person who would go to as many clubs as you could. Okay. So that
Didn't always stay with them, but like was always around in all of them.
So
Okay.
did he join my club? That's what I want to know.
I somehow
Yeah,
stayed
there's
with
interest in
all
that.
of them, but most of
I
the
want.
people in the clubs didn't know I was there.
Okay. So Tad's going very wallflower with this one. Okay, so Jonathan, that makes sense that, one of the other questions here is when I asked you to join the game, why did you decide to join? And it sounds like it was another club. It was another activity. Or was there another reason why you joined us?
I think this
I
all
saw a flyer in
revolves
the
around
hall.
my cult.
I saw a flyer in the hall, kind of like the cult.
Okay.
I saw a whole bunch of people meeting, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Okay. All righty. So now with there we go. So I guess so you tried out a lot of everything. Did you have any interests that stuck with you, or were you just kind of on a perpetual journey of self-discovery?
Um, I'm thinking of it more in kind of the, uh, kind of in my own life, the mild ADHD of like just um always keeping myself busy with like a new thing, or like, and then if there's something in particular that piques my interest, getting hyper focused on it.
Okay.
Basically, I'm thinking all the way back to when Pokemon first came out in 1998. I memorized the entire player's guide when that came out. So
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
What was your persona? Did your persona have a favorite Pokemon?
Well, we'll just go with my real life favorite one, which was Vulpix.
Vulpix. All right, cool. That
And
sounds
probably Colts, or I mean, not Colts, but this could be the case. Clubs that took kind of were more engaging were the ones I tended to, I guess, gear myself towards a little bit more, or focus on. It wouldn't be as passing. So
okay.
some stuff that was more engaging. So like the um the Spanish club, they don't really do a whole lot. They really just get in there and they complain about the Spanish teacher and how
Mhm.
they really don't actually know Spanish.
Mhm.
Um, and then the clubs that are a little bit more engaging, like the TTRPG club, is going to be that requires a little bit more um, engagement to it. And depending on I guess how much the Cult Club is trying to suck people in, I might also be gearing a little bit towards that as well.
All right. Let's get back to that cult club a little bit. So now Holland. Um, so then when Parker asked you to join this RPG group, what did you want to lead it? Was that your first instinct? And then when you found out that you couldn't lead it, how did you react?
Oh no, you see, you have it all wrong. Parker didn't invite me to join him. Parker's one of my minions, and I convinced
Hmm.
him to start this RPG group for my elite.
Okay. Okay. So for you, we were the secret Illuminati of the school.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Good to know. So in that case, what did you love about playing the game with the rest of the group, and what did you hate?
I secretly deeply, or I would never admit to this, but I
Hmm.
secretly love the fact that I could actually go off. And so, how I perceive my character is that
Hmm.
he gets bored really easily. That's
Hmm.
probably sort of how he has the emotion of loathing, because it
Hmm.
starts with boredom, goes into disgust, and then gets to loathing.
Hmm.
Um, but because he gets bored really easily, he essentially like goes off and does like little social experiments, like, or various experiments. Like he'll do things that like most people wouldn't do because it's unethical. But because he's so bored, he's just like, I don't know what this is gonna do. I'm gonna go try it because nobody's ever really been like, or I've never actually seen it happen.
Hmm.
Um, so what he liked about the game was that there wasn't really repercussions to it, because you could just sort of see, how things would like play out without actually, having to have this like nagging second voice that, essentially is his own loathing of himself saying, hey, like you're playing with like actual people's lives. Like you shouldn't be doing this.
Okay, very, very interesting. So then on the other flip side of that, what was there anything you hated about it? Like what got under your skin?
I I'm gonna steal one from Tad. I hated that I couldn't just do anything I wanted.
Okay, okay. Doubling down. All right. That sounds good to me. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good idea about you now. Okay, so then Hannah, who looks like she's changed her name to Han Sampson. What was your high school stereotype and how did you go against that type?
I'll actually pronounce it as Han for the game,
Han.
but
Okay.
my stereotype was also an academic person, but for different reasons. Being in this very rich school that our parents paid a lot of money for, it was academics or nothing. So obviously I had to be good at academics or face, you name it, from my parents.
Okay.
And, I have this thought that you can't really get anywhere without academics, but you also can't affect real change with academics.
I'm sorry, one more time. I spaced for a second. You said you can't change anything with academics?
My character is thinking like, yeah, you can't affect true real change in the world with only academics.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So when my persona invited you to the game, why did you decide to join?
This is the invite in high school, right? Not coming back.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is the initial invite.
So my character has always been looking for a sense of community, which has been lacking for them. So they decided to join for that reason.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So then in that case, what did you hate about playing together? And then what did you love about playing together? Did you find that sense of community?
Yeah. So what my character loved about playing with this group was the connection that we had to one another when we were playing together. But I hated that feeling of the disappearing connection, how it felt like it was only present when we were together playing the game.
Okay. So that sounds like we in a very Illuminati-esque way, we would meet in secret, but we wouldn't spend time outside of the club together. So we would kind of go our separate ways. Okay. Okay. That sounds okay. That definitely sounds good. Sounds like a lead there. Did you have any interests outside of academics, or were those kind of all consuming?
I did try to make myself busy with community service. Of course, with it would look great on college applications, as my parents would say. So I tried to actually affect change in the community, working at community gardens and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That sounds interesting. We will come back to you in a bit. So, okay. So now, Callum, what was your high school stereotype archetype, and how did you go against that?
I was more the person that just nobody really noticed. Just not so much as a like unsocial person. I just didn't really care. I was happy doing my own thing, and I just kind of kept myself and kept myself busy with what I was doing. I wasn't too interested in like the ongoings, like social stuff at school. I was busy doing my own thing basically. And then
Okay.
I think I went against that by like it wasn't because I was unsocial. So if people did invite me to things like the game, I was more than happy to do it and I would
Mhm.
join in, but as I wouldn't seek it out necessarily. That was not something that I like
Okay.
sought after.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that sounds good. So was there a reason when my character asked you to play the game, which I see now your name is Lex Albright?
Yeah, Lex is the Paragon name. Felix is
Okay.
the persona name.
Okay, gotcha. So Felix, okay. So when I had asked you to join, was there another reason that you had accepted the invite, or was it just, oh, anyone could have asked and you would have gone?
Uh, I think if anyone had asked, I would have gone. Like my character also has an interest in like playing games and puzzles and trying different things like that. So it's just an opportunity to do it. So I was like, sure, why not? Didn't have anything else going on necessarily. I didn't do a ton of like outside clubs, so I had more free time to do whatever came up kind of stuff.
Okay, okay. Very interesting. All right. So then what did you love about playing the game and what did you hate about playing the game?
I liked the like cooperation and solving puzzles and fixing like like trying to figure out this other world and exploring that whole, new kind of reality, if you will.
Mhm.
And then I think for what I didn't like, I hated when people would get in arguments and just nothing would get done. And we get stuck in situations trying to figure out what we were going to do next, or that we had disagreements. I wanted to
Okay.
bypass that. I didn't care for all those. I didn't want to be involved in the discussions.
Okay. That's definitely interesting. Okay, going back to the antisocial roots. All right. So that does sound interesting. I guess since I'm a player as well, I do have a persona. It's did y'all have any questions for me?
Why did you want to run this game?
Why did I want to run this game? Well, I think my initial motivation was to help, my next door neighbor Tad, who we'd grown up, or not Tad, my next door neighbor William, who I think yeah, he was the starting motivation, and then I was I was the type of person who was trying not to spend time at home, so I was trying to, look for any reason to not be there. Part of that was definitely at school. I was someone who would come alive at school and then, kind of feel trapped at home. And then, it was one of those where I would kind of rotate through the Rolodex of, okay, who can I hang out with this weekend to where I don't have to be home so much.
Sure.
Those sorts
I
of
have this
things.
this line that you can take or reject.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
essentially it is that my whole entire thought is like I am the most popular kid at the school. Whether that's entirely true or
Yeah.
not
Okay.
is not quite accurate in that
Right.
you needed additional people, so you came to me.
Oh, okay. 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 So did you then handpick the suggestions for after I said, okay, well, there's me and William Holland. Who else do you know? Who
Oh yeah.
can who can you connect
I
us with for
I
this?
handpicked all these people. I definitely
Okay.
did that.
Sure. Sure.
I
Because
do
Excellent.
as I said, most of the people at the school are sheep.
These were
I
the non-cheat.
I do want to
Right.
say that the difference between me not being noticed and Felix not being noticed is I'm totally noticed by like the teachers and adults because I'm
Mm.
so good at getting all of the paperwork done and that sort of thing. It's the kids that don't notice that I'm there. And
Okay.
or just like think of me as like another adult getting the paperwork done
Okay.
and don't realize that I'm also in their calculus class.
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
probably noticed by everyone, and the adults don't like me.
And
Okay.
he probably noticed me because he needs a treasurer for his cult.
Right. Right.
Well,
Gotta all those
well,
funds you're pulling in.
Parker Peterson, I imagine, said, "Hey, William Charleston has to be in this," and I said, "Okay, what's his skills?"
All right. Okay, so now I'm going to get into specific questions for everybody, and these are going to have follow-ups. So we're going to start with William. You had something which was especially important to you. What was it?
I have the calculator that my grandfather used. He was getting his PhD in statistics at MIT.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Um, so then, Peter, you had a goal in life. What was it? Sorry, Holland. Holland, you had a goal in life. What was it?
Apologies. A goal in life. Well, it took me a while to figure out my goal because I was bored most of the time and, most things bored me. Um, I think my goal in life from, I guess, here's my question real quick. Is it from
Mhm.
when I was a kid or now?
This is when you were still in school. We're approaching the time jump.
All right. My goal was to be the most awesome male model that possibly existed.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, so now Jonathan, you also had a goal in life. What was it?
Um, well, with the way, also with the emotion I picked, the
Mhm.
problem with my goal in life is it changes about every other week. It's like when you ask a little kid, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
Uh-huh.
And the answer changes routinely. It kind of all constantly gets based on whatever is interesting me at the moment. And so I've had about 50 career paths in the span of like a month.
Okay. But back in the day, did you have like a kind of goal behind all of the seeking behavior?
Um, Probably something that was going to, I guess, um, occupy all the squirrels in my brain. Something that was going to keep
Okay.
me just um engaged.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So now for Han, you had something especially shitty to deal with in your teenage years. What was it?
Easily, my parents, they sucked the joy out of what could have been any joy that could have been there in high school was gone. It was just a means to get somewhere else, a stepping stone to get somewhere else. And I wasn't allowed to be a kid, be a high schooler.
Okay. All righty. Sounds like a plan. So then, Felix, you had a significant gift at school, something with real potential, and everyone was aware of it. Well, sorry, that actually goes against what you had. So instead, you had an all consuming interest, your absolute obsession. What was it?
I think it was just puzzles. Like
Puzzles? Okay.
anything that was like a problem I wanted to figure out, and I wanted to figure out how it worked or what the answer to it was.
That worked really well. Okay. So that leaves me with I had a gift. Um, gosh. Oh, I didn't want to go in that direction. So I'm gonna say that this is gonna be, well, huh. I'll come back to what my gift was. That's not super important. So okay. So all right, so now groups questions for everyone.
What? I want to know your gift.
You want to know my gift? Okay. Oh gosh. I guess that I was a leader. I was the one who banded everyone together. I got everyone together, with the help of Holland's connections. But I
The
had
true leader. Yes.
the true leader. Yeah, sorry, but he was the worm tongue to my uh, what was it? I don't know Lord of the Rings well enough to finish that reference. But okay, so that's what it is that I had an ability to rally a band to get people interested in causes. Okay, so we're going to come back to each of those in a minute. As far as the fantasy world, I was wondering if everyone's okay. The one that came to me was Aeon's End was the fantasy world we played in. So it was kind of a more starry galactic kind of world filled with light and darkness, those sorts of typical things. And if anyone has an idea for what we call our group in that world, feel free to shout it out. But now the question is, where did we play together? Did we play at school? Did we play at someone's house? What's everyone thinking here?
I think wherever we played, it has to be kind of private because, again, I'm running called and can't let all the sheep know that, I
Sure.
have selected a limited amount of you.
So would that be your house? Do we play at your house?
God, no.
God, no. Okay. Oh, were your parents the biggest sheep of all?
Maybe. I haven't
Maybe?
decided on that
Okay.
yet.
Okay, we don't necessarily need to go there.
Maybe we
think-
played at the public library because
Okay.
what other high schoolers are going to the public library?
That sounds good to me.
There's also meeting rooms there. It was easy enough to hide ourselves in one.
Gotcha. Okay.
The fact that we brought candles and them probably was not the librarians probably didn't like us for that, but that was
Right.
on me. So
we nearly got kicked out one time, but someone was able to, it was such a sweethearted group for the rest of them that well, okay, we'll talk to the candle kid, but that's the only one. Okay. So who was the smartest amongst us? I'm inclined to think that it was William, despite all of the great minds we had. His was the one who, his calculations were always right, and there was something about that.
I don't know. It's kind of a hard question to.
Yeah, I was going to say
answer.
define smart.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, I
Because I
appreciate
can
what
do
you're
that,
going
but I
for.
don't know if I know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's fair.
Or
That's
that
fair.
I need to.
I guess then if anyone has an opinion to challenge that, of if anyone thought one of the others was smartest, trying to get an idea of who.
We have a lot of smart people in this group.
Okay, we can skip that one then. Gotcha. In that case, and that's the next logical answer here for who did people most pick on. So I guess amongst our outcasts, who was the most cast out?
Using the phrase cast out, I
Hmm.
would think William.
Okay.
You're going with
would.
that specific phrasing.
That was my thought too.
I
Okay.
concur. The only reason I don't think I was cast out is in my mind, I removed myself. But
Okay.
that's mostly because if I hadn't, I would have been cast out.
Okay. All right. Was there anyone that the group was scared
It's a
at?
sore subject.
Okay. All right. So we will not be including William's bully, or if we do, William will be the one who sees him of his own accords. So, okay.
I was hoping I'd be the one that you'd all be most scared of, but it's up to you.
You're
I
definitely
would
the one
agree.
that I'm most scared of, but frankly, I'm scared of all of you because you do very, very illogical things.
There we go. All right. So now for everyone, who was your favorite and least favorite person in the group and why?
My
I think.
favorite.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. My favorite is Parker because I'm somewhat aware that I need to be not so careful. But he also scares me because he makes me not be so careful. And Holland makes me pee in my pants.
There we go.
I sometimes wear diapers to our sessions.
This is just if anyone wants to build a grudge before the game, But if we're
Sure. So,
yeah.
Probably I'm gonna say my favorite person, Han. I respect them. Obviously I would never tell that to them, but favor probably shows.
Okay.
My least favorite person, I'm gonna build this grudge. I'll say William. They're awkward
okay.
enough that it's like, okay, you're in this group because Parker required it, and I just don't see you as part of this group.
That
I know
gives,
I don't look at him as a sheep, that's not the thing, because I know he's not, but I'm
Mhm.
just like, you're completely outside the norm.
He challenges your worldview.
You're making me want to
Correct.
cry.
Oh gosh. So that's where then this my favorite person was William, because I was very protective of him, and my least favorite was probably then Holland. I saw him as a necessary evil, to tie these social circles, and someone to keep in check. Okay. So that, which it looks like we also have Jonathan's name. Did you want to introduce yourself in character?
So because of with this group being a little bit more engaging,
Mhm.
he went really, really deep into the history. His name is Chang Po,
Mhm.
but he went with when he goes really deep into his games, he goes
Mhm.
like full on into the history, all the history that's been written. So he went. So his full character's name is Bray Blue Walker, sort of the Vilthal clan,
Okay.
because went super in depth at it. Was the character who wrote, no one, not everyone might see it, but wrote a 20-page backstory to the character.
Okay. All right. So
Um,
this scratched your itch.
and one thing I also with the character, or with the class, is I do declare one person under my protection. And I
Mm.
guess as a question for Holland, as a cult leader, how good of a cult leader are you?
I'm the most popular kid in school. I want you to know that.
You have a
Okay,
certificate.
okay, then I guess you have a I guess you have a bodyguard now.
There we go. There we
I'm
go.
So
also
he was also voted most likely to become a cult leader. So take that as you will.
Was
I
voted
also like to
most
note
likely to
that
become a cult leader.
Changpo is only like 5'3",
Okay.
but
Oh, that's amazing.
it's kind of it's kind of one of those things that what like later on down the road people mess with small, but not everybody messes with eccentricity.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Okay. So what you lacked in stature, you made up for with vigor.
yeah.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Anyone else wanting to take a stab at that question, or?
I feel like my character would not hate anyone because they've been searching for community for so long. They just
Mhm.
want to be with these people. And I guess in terms of favorite person, it probably would be Holland, actually, funnily enough, because you're obviously the one who brought this group together. So, I have some gratitude in that regard.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with I don't really care. I'm just here to have a good time. I don't really get into the personal
Right.
drama between different people and personalities.
So who did you see as starting the most drama?
I think probably Holland, because they like to put people in buckets of like being a sheep or not. That
Mm.
was something that I just didn't necessarily agree with. Just people are
Mhm.
people.
Okay. All right. So now that we've got a little bit of everyone, we are going, our 10 to 12 years have passed. So now I'm going to be asking about your life now, your life today. And we're going to we're going to go roughly in the same order if we can. So William, that thing that was important to you, your grandfather's calculator, you lost it. How? You're muted.
It's not exactly that I lost it. It's that I couldn't live up to it because he was able to do all of this stuff on a four function calculator
Mm,
and it just wasn't enough for me. And I got frustrated
mm.
one day and smashed it and bought a TI-85.
Okay. So in those regards, what is your life like now? What are you doing? Do you have a family? Those sorts of things.
I figure out the probability of accidents based on
Mm.
age group, sociodynamics, what kind of car and how old you have, so that we can price our insurance properly. I'm also part of the life insurance team, and in March and April, I take a part-time job doing taxes.
All right. Okay. So, do you have a family, or are you? What is your home life?
I have a turtle.
Okay.
His name is Fred. We don't talk very often.
Oh no. Oh, Fred. Okay. Okay. Fred sounds fun. Um, okay. So then from there, now
But I feed
Holland.
him at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Exactly 7 pellets.
Interesting. Okay. Um, so from there, so now Holland, your goal, your dream of being a male model, uh, it didn't work out.
No, it did not.
It did not. Why? Why is that?
Um, the short answer was I was the most popular kid in high school and not the most popular kid in college, and I
Mm,
soon realized that while I was very charismatic, yeah, I wasn't that charismatic.
mm, okay.
Um, I had to settle for becoming a manager.
Mm,
Um, but manager of tech, I did pretty well for myself. Obviously, lots of good study background and what have you, and good relations.
okay. So you're doing relatively well. You're happy with your career. Do you have a family? What's your home life like?
The age of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say I have a family. Sure, I got married at some point. She is
Okay.
the most beautiful person in my life. I sort of grew out of my high school phase to some extent, but
Okay.
you know, who knows what of it lingers. So,
Okay. Alrighty, gotcha. So when the invite for the reunion arrived, what made you not want to come? But then why did you come anyway?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I started a cult in high school and messed with a lot of people, in not necessarily the most obvious of ways, but definitely in ways that they felt and they knew were going on. And I sort of grew a conscience after high school at some point. So I have a lot of shit to make up for, and I'm not really looking forward to that.
Okay.
I came anyways because I guess I just sort of felt like I needed to. Like I probably had some apologies to make or something to that extent, especially with William.
Okay. 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 So you're here for amends. That is good. That's good material. So now, Cheng Po, your goal in life was to find something to keep you engaged. What did you find? You found that and you did achieve it. So what is it and how does that make you feel these days?
Okay, so I own a coffee shop in town,
Okay.
and then like two doors down, I own a comic book slash game store. Then on the other side of the town square, I also own, or I'm part owner of a smoke shop slash newspaper shop, yeah, kind of your
Okay.
periodicals. I also then run an online store. I have like five or six different small businesses.
Hmm. Okay. So you've gone full mogul. That's great.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
it's one of those things that I'm by no means rich. Like,
sure.
Can
so
I
it's
be
one of those things
your
that it's
can I be your accountant?
sure.
There we go. All right. So okay. So you're expanding. You're building the empire. So that hunger is still in you. You feel
Yeah, it's one of those
okay.
things that I have like a million different interests, and so I'm constantly bouncing, and I'm constantly I'm also very involved in all the business, so usually am stopping at all of them at least once a day
Okay.
just to check in,
Do
and
you?
also play games at the game shop.
Do
Okay.
you do you have a pizza place?
I can.
Now's the
So
time.
my routine is that I have coffee and an egg sandwich at your coffee shop, and then lunch and dinner at the pizza place every day. I have the personal cheese pizza.
Okay. Sounds good. So it sounds like William and Chang Po. Do you just go by Chang or Chang Po?
Uh, I'll go by my like the way it is in real life, where so in growing up in high school, because there was a lot of Jonathans, everybody called me by my last name, which is Chu.
Okay.
And so I'm called by um a million different things.
Okay.
And so
Oh,
it kind of just and so everyone calls me something like something different or some kind of variation of it. So
I like that. That's interesting. That's fun. Okay. So then do you have a home life outside of your businesses, or is it your all of your businesses are there's so much it consumes your whole life, and that's kind of the family you've built for yourself?
um I would say I have a girlfriend and four cats.
Okay. All right. Um, so now after that, we go to Felix, for your all-consuming interests of puzzles. It's no longer in your life. Why is that?
I think I had a kind of a realization at one point where there's just like other more important things in life, and I won't ever like figure everything out. So I kind of changed perspectives and just started trying to live more in the now about what's going on around me versus like focusing solely on one puzzle or something that's like a problem.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So then, what do you do? Do you have a family? Those sorts of things.
I don't have a family.
Yeah.
I live kind of out in a more rural area with my dog Kermit. So instead of Kermit the Frog, I've got Kermit the dog.
Nice.
Uh, and I'm a machinist. So I work generally as like a 8 to 5, go in and do high precision, machining for like custom orders. And
Okay.
then I go home and I do some like farming, like, just for myself outside with my dog Kermit and
Mhm.
enjoy just kind of like being out in nature more so now.
Okay. Okay. So you're the strong hybrid of you enjoy nature, but your work is machines. So okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's very cool. Okay. So then, when you got the invite from me to play the game again, how did you react?
I think I was a little surprised by it, but it wasn't like it didn't bring any sort of strong emotional reaction. I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. Okay. So unexpected. Okay. So now Han.
You didn't actually invite me. You just added it to my Google Calendar.
Okay. Interesting. The invite arrived on your Google Calendar, and it was an automatic. Okay. So now Han, your parents that sucked the joy out of your life. So they're it's had lingering haunting effects. How did you get away from it, and what do you still feel from that influence?
So after high school, I still stuck with that sort of mindset that I have to use academics to get somewhere in life. So I went to college, graduated college, found a corporate job, worked my way up the corporate ladder. So that sort of using academics to get to a higher spot has definitely stuck with me. Um, I don't talk to my parents anymore.
Okay.
I've decided I don't need that in my life, but their sort of parenting style has left me with lingering relationship problems. I chronically dating, can't keep a relationship, see people as a means to an end, a lot like my academics, a means to an end. But
Mhm.
all at the same time, I'm still searching for that community I had at one point.
Okay. So then, was there any hesitation when you got the reunion for the invite, or how did you feel about that?
I think it was a very heartfelt moment for my character. Like they still remember me. They want me to come back. They want to see me again.
Okay. All right, sounds good. And so then just the wrap up for my character with my significant gift of leadership, of possibly going into politics or management. I'm going to say that so none of you know this because I disappeared off social media within after freshman year of college. When I escaped home, I went wild. I went through drugs, alcohol, kind of a party phase, and I'm kind of returning to life at this point. And this is kind of my, um, you know, rejoining society, new lease on life. So just so everyone has an idea of, I've had some demons, I've had some problems, but we're trying to to not run away so much anymore. At least that's the attempt. Okay, so that I think our persona generation is off to a great start. I think here we're almost right on track. If we want to take just a short 5 or 10 minute break, and then when we sit back down to do so in character at the table together, you know, um, we'll say we could even be meeting in that same public library again.
Well, I
Does
don't
that sound?
know if Cheng Po has, a game store shop that's,
Oh, there we go.
I think that we should, upgrade our digs.
There we go. Yeah, no, that sounds good too. Okay, so now we're from public library to Cheng Po's game shop. Okay, so that's
Also
where
bring pizza. Also bring pizza and coffee.
gotcha.
Yep.
Pizza and coffee sounds good. Okay, so everyone's good with a good 10-minute break. We meet back at 11:40. You say?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, sounds good. I'm just gonna take the headset off. Okay, it has been 12 years since I've seen any of these people. I invited them all to play this game, and now I'm walking into Cheng Po's game shop. I started looking around, and I think I see him coming out from the back.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. How have you been? You look great for, all the time it's been. It's like nothing's different.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still doing like 20 different things. I mean, we got the games over there. We got the coffees right next door, 2 doors down if you need coffee. We got pizza
Oh
coming.
wow.
You need pizza, and then let's see. We got some new stuff coming in down there. We got some new comics are coming in on Wednesday. However, the game stuff is going to come in on Tuesday.
Hi,
Yeah, and
Parker.
and we have like 4 private spaces back here, and uh yeah, and Williams over there.
Wow. I didn't realize this was you had the coffee shop too. That's amazing.
Hi, hi,
William,
hi, Parker.
William, how have you been, good sir? It's been entirely too long.
Well, it has been 12 years, 17 days, and 3 minutes um, since last I saw you, and I, I have, I have done 17,671 actions since then.
That seems like too many and not a many as not enough all at the same time. I'm a little worried about that minute counter, but it's so good to see you. It's
What,
so good to see you. I'm so glad you're doing
what
well.
can I say? I'm a party animal.
Oh, is Jake still taking care of you all right?
He gets me my pizza and my egg sandwich and my coffee, always black coffee.
Always black coffee. I still remember how you wouldn't want the sugar because it would get you too hyped up.
Sugar is very bad for you. The reason that they don't put on the labels your recommended daily dosage of sugar is that pretty much anything that has sugar in it is is 200 or 300 times your 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 recommended daily dose of sugar. Has nothing to do with getting hyper.
Have you been here long? It seems like seems like you've been here for, judging by what you've got on the table, you've been here for a while.
Well, I had my breakfast at the coffee shop as I do. And since it was on my calendar to be here at 10 a.m., I was here at 9 a.m. because I didn't want to be late.
Oh, I'm glad you still have that same punctuality. It is such a trip being back here. I haven't been to town in quite a while, but it's
12 years, 17 days, and 23 minutes.
I'm gonna have Felix walk in the door now.
excellent. All right. Oh, Felix, hey, how you doing?
Oh, hey. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Parking has changed a lot around here since I was last here.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
it's
they added a lot between the pizza place and the burger place. It's much easier now.
There's a lot of signs. I'm not honestly sure. I'm not gonna get ticketed. Hopefully, my car is still here when I get back, though.
I can arrange for the ticket to be taken care of.
oh, sounds
Oh,
like William's got some connections down at City Hall there.
good to know.
The mayor needs a good accountant.
If I ever wanted to get in some political trouble, I'm glad you can help clear it up, buddy.
I'm gonna have Han walk in. Is everyone here?
Han, oh my gosh, it's been so long.
No, Holland has not arrived yet.
Thank you for that update, William. It is so good to see
You're
everyone.
welcome.
So have you all kept in touch? I know I've been in the dark for a while, but how how have you
I
how have
talk
you
to
stayed?
Chang Po on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and occasionally on Saturdays.
I
Did you
haven't kept in contact with anyone. This is the
Oh,
first time I've been back here in quite a while.
wow, it's so wild seeing how much the town has changed over the years. It's really blossomed.
I have not been back here since basically I left for college after graduation. That was the last time I saw any of you, so
It
wasn't
has
sure I'd
been
recognize anyone when I
it
got
has
back.
been 12 years, 2 months, 4 days, and 18 hours since you left town.
I'm a little concerned that you know the exact hour I left, but we're gonna move past that.
I asked William if he had
It
cameras
was
set up around
it
town.
was it was the red light camera on 3rd and Main. You blew the light. I arranged for you not to get a ticket.
You really
Uh,
are well connected. Wow.
I guess thank you. I'm also concerned how you had a connection at City Hall when you were 18 already, but
I've
I,
been doing the finances for many of the people in this town for many, many years.
it seems like you're doing well then, William. Good for you.
I
Holland will
can't complain.
approach the door, and I imagine that this is like your typical comic book game store where you actually have windows in the front compared to like, the fancy ones that are more tavern-like these days. And I don't know if you guys are in view of the windows from whatever room you're in, but Holland will look inside and see there are people there and
I
take a
see
deep
that
breath
Holland is at the window.
before stepping in the door and putting on a smile as he adjusts his tie. Howdy! I can
Why
see
did
I'm
you
late
wait
to the
to
party.
smile until you were in the room?
Where are your robes, cult leader? If don't tell me you've lost followers since the last time I saw you.
I never wore robes. I've always worn this dress. Why would I want to, go off and broadcast that I had a cult?
So you haven't maintained membership?
How long has it been, William?
Uh,
It's
Holland, your cult has not been active in 7 years, 4 days, and 3 months. But however, we need to talk about your South Dakota and your Cayman accounts when we're done here today.
Yeah, we'll talk about those. So as you can see, yeah, it's been a few years since uh hung up the robe, as you say.
You did, however, claim the cult for tax purposes 3 years ago.
Thanks, William.
I don't
This
know
seems
if
like a private conversation.
it's hoping to keep tax documents, behind government doors.
I'm sorry, I thought we were all friends here.
Friends, yes. Don't need to worry about that, William. We're all friends here.
I'm not saying there might be tax fraud happening in any way, but I'm going to keep to my simple one tax form at the end of the year. I'm not associated with this cult. Never have been, for the record.
I mean, that's a shame because last year I actually got Holland a grant rather than paying taxes.
It's true. Anyhow,
With
So
this oversharing, William, you haven't told anybody your social security number or anybody else's, right? Because you're telling a lot of information
Not
right now.
not since you told me that it was bad 7 years, 8 days, and 14 hours ago.
I could have sworn they would have told you about personal
Yeah.
information and not sharing it in college, William. But anyhow,
That was about my personal information. I've never shared my personal information, but Chang Po told me that it was inappropriate to share other people's personal information.
I'm
Seven
pretty sure as an
years,
actuary,
3 months.
that's a fairly standard practice.
Well, again, that's professionally. In my professional job, when I'm working for the Great Northern Insurance Trust, then I have to keep everything confidential.
Hmm. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
I
thank
don't
goodness for
work
Chang.
I
My
don't
word.
work for the Great Northern Insurance Trust because if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
okay.
And also, I think pizzas are here. Uh, William, I have the Andre special right here.
Is it a personal size pizza from Andre? Because I eat a personal size pizza from Andre.
Yes.
Thank you,
is
Changpo.
is Andre Williams' personal chef, Chang?
He makes the best pizzas. He knows the proper cheese to sauce ratio.
Oh, okay, everybody, let's get plates ready and let's sit down. We've got games to play. Um, and so
What
with
did you
that,
have in mind?
well, it's been so long since we've dug up the old character sheets. I was thinking that we try something new. I don't know if you guys heard that story about those kids back in the '90s that went missing, but I I was able to find a copy of the game they played
You
online.
mean when we were two? It was very,
Yeah, it
very
was.
early in the 90s. I don't know if most people's memory goes back that far.
Well, it was a big news story a few years ago when they went missing again, and then came back again, and they won't tell anyone. But
I
I
feel
did a
like
lot of
that
digging on the
was
internet.
likely a hoax.
Maybe it was, but I found the game they played, and it's so exciting. I made these characters for y'all,
Didn't
and
that one guy just like disappear entirely? I mean, like one, the G the game master disappeared originally, and then suddenly he got swapped out for one of the players, didn't he?
I it's kind of like Cannibal Holocaust. I have to imagine it's a hoax somehow, but it's just there's something to this game, everybody.
It
I
sounds like
don't
a
know for
hoax.
certain with the game master, but the player currently missing was wanted for tax evasion in 17 countries.
I believe that. Wasn't he somebody famous too? Like, uh, a writer or something?
They want you to think that.
Yeah, he put out the Final Fantasy. I haven't read that one, but again, it's just you guys. This is something. It's just it's special. I can feel it, you know. And so I start passing out character sheets to everyone. You know, I hand a sheet for the Dictator to Holland. I hand the Emotion Knight to Chang, and
Well, I'm glad to see
the
at least
Fool to
somebody's
William.
keeping cultism alive.
You know, maybe you'll be able to relive some of your glory days, but this is you know, this is we can all get back together again. You know, it's been so long since we've seen each other. I'm really looking for a little bit of stability again.
This
You
is
know,
very strange, Parker. It says here to always look on the bright side of life. There's not a bright side and a dark side of life. There's just life.
you know, I think that's bright enough for us.
I'm pretty sure there is, William. Anyhow,
Well, it seems like the perfect reunion, a game for a bunch of people who used to play games together. Props to you, Parker.
Alrighty, so now if everyone,
What does it mean that the only responsible thing to do is be irresponsible? That seems to be counterintuitive.
you know, I think you'll find a way, William. I think you'll find a way to balance those scales, so to speak. All right, so it's pretty simple for just filling out your choices here. If you get 2 stat points to add to whichever stat you want, so 2 of them can be 3 or 1 of them can be 4. And then it's unique because there's only 1 of each of you.
How is a dragon like a fish?
They both have scales.
The scales are balanced.
There you go. So you're finding that irresponsibility already.
well, obviously, since you gave me Dictator, I have to go full charisma.
Why didn't anybody laugh? I told a joke.
I think we're all a little busy with figuring out our characters at this moment. It's all new to us. Don't worry, William.
Okay. Worrying doesn't make sense.
There we go. So now, okay. So I'm gonna pass out the dice, and so for this one, this D4, this is yours, Holland. It's the only one in the game. There's nothing else like it. It is special. It is yours. Use it well, Dictator.
Such a small die. Well, see what we can do with it.
All right. And now here we have the D8. It's the only one like it in the whole game. It's special. It's yours. Use it well, Emotion Knight. And I pass that to Chang Po and hand it to him. And then this die, this is the D10. There's no other one like it in the whole game. It is special. It is yours. Use it well, Neo. And I hand that to Felix.
Cool.
And then I hold up the D12 and I say, this is your die. It is the only one like it in the whole game. It is special. It is yours. Use it well, Godbinder. And I pass it to Han.
Gladly.
And then I hold up a D6 and I say, well, this is your die, William. It's exactly like all the rest of the die in the game that we'll be rolling. I know how you like things to be the same and orderly, so I just wanted to give it to you, you know, and see what you could make of it. Use it well, fool.
It's only logical.
And then I hold up the D20 and I say, and this one is mine. And so now we're going to play. And I want you all to close your eyes and then slowly, simultaneously lower the dice down to the table. And on my mark, release them. 1, 2, 3, let go. And now open your eyes. And we're somewhere completely different. We are no longer in the game shop. We are sitting around a table in a dingy, rundown version of the meeting room in the library that we had played before. And all of the dice that we had set on the table are floating in a ring before us. And I say, oh my goodness, it worked. It actually worked. I can't believe this happened. And I grab the floating D20 out of the air. And as I do, darkness, living shadows lash out from the die, and they start crawling up my arm as if they're taking bites of me. And I start shrinking away as I turn into shadow. And then I expand again, and I'm 7 feet tall, and I look like a walking nebula full of stars, wearing a cloak of storms, and my eyes are glowing. And this D20 is rotating around my head. And I say, oh gosh, this feels even better than I could have imagined.
Harker, what is this?
This is the game.
Have
This
you
is
gotten into us?
this is everything we ever wanted that the game couldn't give us back then. This is happening. This is real. And then you see 5 glowing tokens emerge in front of you, and I grab one and I smash it. And as I disappear and teleport away, I say, explore this world, find something, and then find me. What do you do?
Chang Po, can Andre deliver another pizza here?
Please tell me the pizza was just laced with something.
No, I never did drugs. I was worried I'd see something crazy. Yeah.
I didn't get to eat my pizza yet, Chang Po. I need my pizza from Andre.
Well, if you didn't eat any pizza, but I did, don't think the pizza was laced with anything.
So you hear the churning of dirt and the scrabbling of claws, and 5 sets of arms start rising from the ground, surrounding behind you. And these purplish creatures emerge. They look like people, but parts of their bodies are replaced with mechanisms and metal, and their faces are twisted. They have claws and teeth. They're gnashing, and they're crying out. What do you do?
I'm gonna
We
say,
need to get out of here, William. We'll have to worry about your pizza later.
I'm gonna just say, well, I guess we're here now, and I'm gonna grab the die that's floating in front of me.
I look down and realize that I have a rapier, and
Well, you don't
I-
yet because you haven't grabbed your die. So we're going to do Felix's magical transformation sequence now. You grab your D10
So-
and power surges into you. What do you look like? What happens?
So I normally I'm about 5'10", but I grow in about 6'5". I get I slim down a little bit in size. I'm covered in head to toe in black leather armor that's got chromed out shoulder pads and basic like armor plates, and I've got like a spine of chrome metal going up my back, and a slot forms in my sternum, and I've got a revolver, like an old school Western style revolver on my hip. Total chrome, of course, too.
All right. So you grabbed your die. You feel powered up. What are you going to do to any of these fallen that are emerging from the ground?
I'm gonna take a second to kind of look around myself and get my bearings, and then I'm gonna look at the fallen that are there, and I look at my gun, and I grab it, and I'm gonna try and shoot one of them.
And then your AI says, no fair gold detected within system. Please insert 1 fair gold to fire revolver. And so you feel this emptiness inside of you, like this yearning for power, and your gun jams. So you have a chance to, if you want to, pistol whip him, you can do that. But you need the fair gold to activate your gift.
I go, huh? Flip my gun around and then try and just whip them instead.
All right. So go ahead and give me a strength roll.
All
So
right,
that's going to be the number of dice equal to your strength. So either 2 or 3.
all right. So that's 2. And then I've got 4 pluses of success, right?
Yes.
So I've got 1 success, 1 fail.
All right. So you crack him across the jaw to where it flies off, and you know this fall is messed up as it's just now it's an upper set of teeth glaring at you. But it's not down for the count yet. So after seeing that, what does anyone else do?
I see that grabbing the die made a difference. So I grab my die.
Yes. And then you feel a surge of power and you transform. What do you look like now?
I look just like I looked before, only I've got a scrappy cape and a rapier, and I seem to have some things in my pockets. But since I have a rapier, I don't pay attention to that. I just draw the rapier and I go, "You took my pizza," and I swing.
That
You
sounds
don't
great.
swing a rapier, you jab with it.
Well, he's starting off
It's
with
a
swing.
very good rapier. I can chop heads with it.
Yeah, it's got a sharpened tip to it. So here we go. Does that one use your dexterity to attack? Or sorry, I'm heading back to check the equipment. Yeah, okay. So what is your dexterity, William? Or Charlie? You're on mute.
3.
3? Okay, so go ahead and roll 3d6 plus your fool die. You're muted again.
I will roll the fool die separately. Going
Okay.
back and forth between the screens, it doesn't like to just unmute when I hit the button if my cursor's in the wrong spot.
Mhm.
I'll roll the full die separately, and right now it has a circle on the 4.
Okay.
So 3d6, and then the
You just muted again. I think it mutes when you tab. So we can't hear you.
I have a 3, 3, and a 4, and then a 2.
3, 3, a 4, and a 2. Okay, so you go ahead and you slash at one of the fallen closest to you, and you wound it as well. There's a giant gash that emerges across its chest, and now that they've emerged from the ground, one of them is a neighboring one is going to lurch at you, and it's going to take a swipe at you with its claws, and it actually gets one hit, so you're able to deflect it with your rapier, but you take one hit to your guard, which I believe is 3. So that is just down by 1 for now.
Okay.
Okay. And you feel the jolt through your arm as you're both able to deflect the claw and feel a weight and heft to it. Does anyone else do anything seeing this violence emerging?
I also grab for the die, just trying to see. Let's see what happens.
All right, so you grab it. You feel a surge of power through you. You get your magical transformation sequence. What do you look like now? What do you turn into?
My height and stature has stayed the same, but now I'm in full medium armor, got a huge billowing cape, and I've got a 2-handed hammer strapped to my back underneath the cape. So immediately I'm just like, all right. Grab for the hammer and swing for whichever of these creatures is closest.
Okay. Go ahead and give me before you swing, you hear the toll of a lighthouse, and you can feel, not just see, but feel the buzz of a light swirling around you. And you just hear the crashing of waves. So I'm going to say that go ahead and roll your d12 plus your strength for this one. Let me know what you get. Are you going to attack one of the fallen that has already taken a hit, or are you going to do a fresh one?
Do a fresh one.
Fresh one? Okay.
My D12 has 9,
Okay.
and the D6s are 6 total.
Oh, okay. Oh, what are the individual rules on those?
3 and 3. That's right. Sorry.
3 and 3?
3 and
Okay.
3.
That's okay. Okay, so since you got a 9, and it is a big hammer, I'm going to say that you just completely obliterate this one. And you see that as you swing, there is a ball of water that forms at the end of your hammer, and it crashes into this fallen, and it's as if the fallen is like sand at the waves, and you just hear a voice in the back of your head that is like, "That's the power of the sea. We can do more for you. We can do whatever you want, but there's always a cost." And that's your lighthouse keeper, your god speaking to you. So yeah. So now, does anyone else seeing that? One of the other fallen is then going to take a move and attack towards Han. You have the hammer, so that means you have a defense of 1, correct? Okay. So we're going to roll that. And they did get 2 successes. So that is another one that comes reaching towards you with both claws, but you're able to fend them back. What do you do to deflect their attack incoming?
I'll hold the hammer up, the handle of the hammer
With a
to
crossbar?
try and the crossbar to hold them back.
So now their jaws are clamping around the midst of your hammer, and you've able to fend away the claws from making contact with you. But go ahead and reduce your guard by 1 for right now. Okay, so whoever hasn't moved yet, what do you do?
Well, one thing I didn't tell, since if I remember right, Holland hasn't been back in a while, and so protectiveness, or I guess the protectiveness that was there isn't as strong as it was. And because William has been to my count is pretty much there, he's now the one I tend to protect, or he's the I guess, and so I'm like I just like do what happens, and I go ahead and grab my die.
Okay, you grab your die, you feel that surge of power. Your transformation sequence begins. What do you look like now, and what weapon forms in your hand from that D8?
Basically, like a short kind of brown cape or cloak with a hood goes over the back, and then a set of studded leather armor, just kind of down the front, goes all the way down to my feet, leather boots, and then my hand is the long sword.
A longsword. Okay, and what was the cardinal emotion you wanted to go with?
Is cardinal emotion the one?
Oh, I think you muted yourself again.
Is it the one at the top or the bottom of the wheel?
Oh no, you can pick one of the spokes, and that is the emotion that you feel that powers you.
Yeah.
So.
Is it the one at the bottom of the check mark or the box on the wheel? Because I chose.
Oh, you mean
vigilance.
like closest to the
for
center
okay.
or farthest? Closest to center.
Okay, yeah. So vigilance.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, I see what you were saying now. Okay, so you're a vigilance knight. So your longsword, it surges in your hand, and you hear a voice in your head that's just like, "Hey man, how you doing? I see you're paying attention. I see you're joining the combat. You want to take a swing around these guys?"
Grover talking to me again, and I just leap forward, and the one that went at William, the one I swing, and I don't know if this matters, but I swing. It's a long sword that I tend to swing more the one-handed sword versus the two-handed.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and do a strength roll and add your D8 in that one.
And it's based on how many the stat is how many dice you roll, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's how many dice you roll. We're looking for a 4 and above as a success.
Going back to what we said at the very beginning when we introduced ourselves, that's a 2, a 1, and a
Mhm.
1.
Oh, what about your D8? Did you include that one?
2.
2? Okay. So you jump towards the fallen that attacked William, but you throw your body in front of him and you don't take a swing. And then that one, it's going to take an opportunity hit towards you. But it also fails on that opportunity attack, especially since your defense is 1. So it does an overzealous swing, and that sort of causes it to fall on its face. So it's just a comedy of errors over there for a second. As you're still standing strong, but haven't done any damage yet. Okay, so now Holland, what do you do as the last act this round?
As I am baffled and confused, I am probably being lurched on by one of these creatures, and whisper under my breath, Parker, what the fuck did you get us into this time? And instead of grabbing for my die, I would request that I call out for it.
Okay, yeah, and it comes to you.
Yep.
It beds itself in your chest or wherever else, and your magical
It beds
transformation.
myself in my tie.
Oh, okay.
And suddenly all of my clothing, like I probably came looking semi-spiffy as it was. I mean, I take, relative interest in my looks, or Holland does. And as of now, it would appear that when the die hits me, my suit becomes spectacular evening wear, as in much sharper. My tie, or suddenly I have a tie that appears to be emerald green, and a green streak flows through my hair.
Nice.
And I just sort of like hold my hand. This is all you'll notice about me. You won't see any new weapons or anything else like that. And as I look at the my attacker, I say, you should loathe that you're part of this, or that that your group is even doing this to some innocent people who just stepped into this realm.
And with that, you feel the power that courses through you of the voice, and it flies out towards this fallen. What is the? I'm presuming you're attacking it as opposed to controlling it.
I'm actually trying to get it to hate the act that's doing, and instead of trying to get it to attack, I do want to control it to see if I can get it to turn on its comrades and attempt to end this violence.
So 2 things. One, what is the tell of what happens that changes that other people can see or detect, like this power flowing out of you?
Oh yes. That is important. The air around me becomes dark and glooming. It's a very, very noticeable aura. And on top of that, pretty much anybody who's like within, earshot suddenly feels like a light rain, even though there's no visual signs of rain and they're not actually wet.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a storm cloud appears around your head and everyone feels like they're being rained on. Okay, so go ahead and start by just rolling your D4.
Sweet diggity.
What did you get on that one?
I got a 4.
You got a 4. Okay, so that's the initial intensity that you're set to. Now go ahead and roll your charisma pool with that one. So that's, I believe you said 4.
Yep, 46s. 1, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Oh my. Okay, so that means that this is a critical failure. So this fallen is, you were trying to get it to loathe itself. So not only you feel that that something has both gone horribly wrong and more powerful than you could have imagined. And there's a part of you that knows that by the look on this creature's face, just the slump of its shoulders and the what ferocity in its eye seems to have fallen, and you know that there's nothing else in this world that it could loathe as much as itself for the rest of time. And it is beyond broken, it is beyond despondent, and it just sits there staring at its claws.
I've seen that before. Anyhow,
So now that we're back to the top of the order, Felix, or would you prefer to go by Lex now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Lex, you out of the fallen that was obliterated like the tides of Han, you see a small golden trinket come tumbling your way, and you want it more than a cold drink in 100-degree heat. You want it more than a child wants sugar. This is beyond. This is failing the marshmallow test with every fiber of your being. What do you do to it?
I see it and I take a second to like try and grasp what I'm feeling, and then I just dive for the gold piece.
Dive for the gold piece.
Yep.
Your slot is that on the back of your neck?
It's actually on my sternum.
Oh, on your sternum. Okay. So you pick up a tiny golden elephant, and as you press it towards your sternum, it turns into a coin and goes in, and you hear your AI say, fair gold accepted. Your laser is now available. And so power flows into your gun. If it's not a laser, apologies. But you now feel that it's charged. It has ammo, and what you tried to do before is within your power now. So I'm assuming you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip my gun around since I was holding it by the barrel before to pistol whip him. I'm gonna flip it around and then take a shot at the guy that the fallen that was pistol whipped before.
Excellent. So go ahead and give me a dexterity roll and include your Neo die with this.
All right, so 3 plus a d10. That is 3 5s and a 4.
Wow. All right. So this thing's head explodes, and it is gone into the dust. And you see another little piece of fair gold fly up from this, and you're able to catch it. So that's in your possession now as well.
Like, I kind of just nod my head. I'm like, all right, this is cool.
That's what was supposed to happen. And so that deep ache that after your transformation, it's sated a bit, but you know that, if this gold doesn't keep coming, then that ache will return. So I believe after Felix, it was Charlie now, who is your turn to act. So there are 3 fallen remaining. One who is the most sad boy you've ever seen. One that is untouched, scrabbling towards Han, and the one on the ground in front of you that tripped over its attempted swipe at Cheng Po. And you're muted.
I am going for the untouched one. However, if I hit my 1 in 3 chance of a fluke, I'm gonna do something pretty crazy.
Okay. So you added a second circle to your fool die?
You're supposed to do that.
Yes.
You...
I am making sure. I'm just making sure. I want you to get lucky. So, okay. So you're going for the unaffected one with the rapier again?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your dexterity pool, and then roll your fool die after that.
Dexterity pool was 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Okay, that's fine. Hope for a success on that fool die. I didn't.
5, which is not one of my flukes.
Not a circle, but you are able to run it through with your rapier. So as you came towards it, it is now it's not pressing on Han anymore, but it is now at the end of your stick, and it is screaming and angry right in your face, and it gets well, actually no, you have a defensive 1, so it's just scrabbling towards you, but it is not able to connect on anything meaningful. I believe next was
And
Han.
I say, eat that, pizza stealer.
All right, so Han, now that it's pressed off you, what do you do?
Can you remind me where the rest of the fallen are at this moment?
Okay, so there's one that is picking itself up off the ground by Cheng Po. There is one just sitting, staring at its hands next to Holland, and then there's one that it was just torn off you by Charlie. So there's kind of one to your left, one to your right. The one behind you is clearly out of commission.
So for the one that was just torn off of me, I whisper to the sea god. I'm like, sea god, I get the sense that your name is Gale. Something's telling me your name is Gale. So I'm going to call you Gale. Give me the power to send a blast of water at this fallen that has just been torn off of me.
Oh, child, you know so much and so little that I don't give you the power. The power is in you this whole time. And a gush of water flows through you and out towards this fallen. So go ahead and roll your wisdom pool with your d12.
The D12 rolled a 3.
Okay.
And then I have a 6, a 4, and a 2.
A 6, a 4, and a 2. Okay. And so again, the water rushes out from it and it surrounds this fallen and crushes it within the waves. You know, it's as if it's surrounded by a small wave pool and it's getting pulsated and battered with the tides around it, and it falls down dead. Another piece of fair gold emerging from its corpse. So I believe next, Cheng Po, or you prefer to go by Bray Blue Walker? I think you're still muted.
I think the one that's closest to me and William, I'm going to try and take another shot at it.
Okay.
And I'm also going to use let me see, where is it? One of my I believe I can use this now, one of my venting abilities, which is dual, and basically it has to it's compelled to attack me and not him.
Okay. So that's what you wanted to use your turn with, was basically calling it towards you. As opposed, you could attack it too if you wanted.
Yeah, I was going to, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll your strength pool and your D8 and get an advantage because it's getting up off the ground.
Okay, on the D8, that's a 7.
Nice.
And somehow that's a 4, 5, and a 6.
Okay, hey, that's a good one. So you cleave him clear in half, and it just crumbles into dust beneath your blade, and you hear in your head, "Oh, that's a good swing out there, man. We're gonna do a whole lot of good together." If you want me to change the voice, I can try. That's just one of the few I can do without practice.
Well, no, I'm just thinking in my head of like, it's like I really shouldn't have watched the Muppet movie yesterday. Because in my mind, that's where the voice is coming from, is whatever I watched last.
Oh, nice. There you go. That's pretty good. All right. So now, Holland, before you, this despondent, self-loathing fallen, you hear a slight muttering as its guttural screams slowly turn into words, and you just hear it say, "I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play." What do you do?
Are there any other fallen up?
No, this is the last one, and it is lost all fight within it.
a form of energy sort of pulsing from it. It's just sort of a dark radiation, and feeling sad for this creature that I have mutilated, feeling self-loathing toward myself for having done this to it. I put it out of its misery. I simply touch it
Yeah.
and with a death touch.
So roll your death touch, take an advantage die. I would even say take a roll your d4 as an emotional nudge for yourself if you
Sounds
want.
good. I have 2 4s and a 3 on my six-sided, and then a 3 on the d4.
Okay, so yeah, so that's more than enough. As you touch this thing, it bursts into flames, and its screams are no longer the terrifying cries of a villain, but the agony of a human, and it disintegrates into ash beneath your touch. So now everyone, the last moment, you saw Holland mercy kill one of these enemies. What do you think of that? Do you think where's everyone's heads at now that the violence has calmed down a bit?
I would have done it with much more blood.
Lex finds himself feeling excited because there's another piece of
There
fair
you go.
gold.
So you've now got
I've
you've got
connected that.
four fair gold on your person
Mhm.
now.
Yep.
They're all different golden trinkets. You see one is a little disco ball. Another is a smiling cat's face. Another is a tiny golden frying pan and a golden sunflower.
I see all of these as he's picking them up, and I do a very awkward John Travolta Saturday Night Fever into a Cheshire cat grin, and then I fry some eggs in a mythical frying pan, and then I don't know what to do with the other part, and I look very despondent and fall back into the shadow.
All right. So now that you're all transformed, you notice that there's one doorway out of here. You know, all the fallen defeated. You know, how is everyone feeling with this power? You know, and do you want to make your way out of this room, or do you want to try to find another exit?
You said there's only one doorway out?
Yeah, just trying to give you options of you were in a basement and you're emerging.
The Earth actuary in me would like to tell people that if there's only one visible way out, then that's clearly where they want you to go, and therefore it's likely a trap. But if I understand how I'm supposed to play the fool, Charlie, and please call me Charlie when we're in this world, Charlie, not Charles, Charlie would think that we need to run up the stairs at full speed because that is the way to be foolish and carefree.
All right. So you see Charlie bolt out of the room. Does anyone are you all following him, or do you want to collect your bearings for a minute?
I was going to try and call Charlie for a second. Just like, why don't we look around the room real quick, see if there's anything that could be useful around here? You never know. And in the back of my mind, just I'm going through I don't know if I'm recognizing the 20-page character backstory. That kind of the armor, the kind of the design on the sword seems to kind of match that. And then also thinking like, did Parker drug us?
Charlie does not hear him and is out of sight already.
Did you actively say that? Ask the question, did Parker drug us, or is that just in your head?
That's more just under my breath. And then also it would have been instead of sticking around, Charlie's already upstairs. I'm like, it's kind of, oh boy. And I don't run up. I kind of like do that thing where you kind of like just walk up like 2 steps at a time.
In the distance, you can hear the echo. Where's my pizza from Andre?
I will, after hearing Changpo mumble out his breath, say, well, I did hear that that Parker got into some interesting things after our high school years. As I will, walk dignantly after Changpo, but not, obviously in some stride, but not, making it look like this is difficult or hurried.
I'm gonna look at Han and go, well, I guess we should probably follow them
We
and
should
start
probably stick together.
walking up the stairs in a leisurely pace.
Chang, are you coming as well?
Oh, he already ran up. He was second behind. Okay, so now you're emerging up into what years ago would have been a tavern, but now is just three barren walls barely holding together as you emerge out of this basement into an overgrown wilderness, and you can't see any society around you as near as you can, but in the wall directly in front of the door as you emerge up, you see a note. And on that note, it says, if you wish the game to end, everyone must say the game is over. If you want the game to continue, everyone must say the game will continue. Once a decision is made, it is final. Be aware, as a foreign entity, your presence here has destabilized reality. If a decision is not made, this world will end and all inside will perish. As long as unanimous decision is made, the realm will continue. Those who are dead do not get a vote.
So does that mean we can just all simply, say we wish to end this game and go back to playing, actual games?
Seems fairly easy on the surface to return
Doesn't-
home.
Wouldn't that include Parker though, and he's not here?
Changpo, where do you think the pizza from Andre is?
Does it include Parker?
Says all the players. He came here
I
with
have
us.
But isn't
I
he
have
like
no
the
idea what
master?
Do you want to try? Do you want to try going home?
I want to go where the pizza is.
Well, pizza's back home.
Then I want to go home.
We could certainly try.
But worth a shot.
Are we all in alignment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so
All right.
one by one.
I want this game to end so I can eat pizza.
We'd like to return home.
I would like to return home.
We would like to return home.
I'd like to return home.
And then a dragon flies above your group, and after the beating wings disturb all the air around you, you hear Parker's voice, emboldened by darkness and storms, and he says, this game will continue. You haven't even explored this world. You haven't looked for anything that I've given to you. Why don't you take the power at hand and do something with it? And with that, the dragon takes off, and he says, once you've found something, find me again. And he flies off into the distance.
I shout
guess.
at the dragon. Why didn't you bring my pizza from Andre?
Yeah, Holland. I know you had the whole thing in high school. I think I just got emotional towards where the dragon was like. I think that kind of command that you were supposed to have that whole crew.
So when you say direction, so do any of you have a strong sense of direction? Like you can always tell where east, west, north is?
No, but I can tell you that if this was previously a tavern, there is still a keg of ale, and I can scrounge up at least one what is that called? Mug to pour myself a cup and take a swig and say, I tell you, my fair friends, This is, well, quite frankly, suicidal.
Doesn't look like we have much option at this point.
And so the thing about direction here is that it feels wrong compared to our world where you're able to orient yourself, north, south, east, west. Here, there are only 3 cardinal directions. Something's missing. So if you try to, your paragons, they feel normal about this. That's what they know. But the part of you back from home, you're having a hard time orienting yourself to a direction in this world. But in that case, since you've settled to know where to go, which direction do you wander in?
So our choices are north, east, and west, since there is no south, apparently.
Ish. They have their own names.
I spin my rapier up into the air and step aside and let it land. And
Okay.
look the direction that it points and say, that way.
Okay. So you all follow the rapier?
Seems as good a plan as any at this point.
Might
I
as well.
suspect William is running off that direction, which probably
I was
means
like, I
Jake
imagine
Poe
William's
is going
already
that direction,
taken
which
off.
means probably.
I did pick up my rapier before I started to run.
Good to note. So you pass through a clearing of trees, and the landscape changes before you. There are now rolling hills covered in the snow, and it's as if for as far as the eye can see in any direction. Once you've emerged from the trees, it's as if they've disappeared behind you. And it is a large field of snow, and you can hear the crashing of thunder in the distance in one of those directions, and you can hear the intensity of the wail of 1,000 beasts, but combined into one singular voice in another direction, and the crashing of waves behind you.
We need to find a settlement. Because if this is based off of what Parker had us doing back in high school, I almost certainly have cultists somewhere.
So
I'm just trying to think of what kind of games Parker used to run and kind of the direction or kind of, I guess, how focused it was on hitting a town right away, whether or not we were supposed to look around in the wilderness, kind of the general direction that he used to kind of steer us in when playing games.
So you all you want to look for a town. You're looking for people to talk to.
Parker
I
was
think
often very literal, so the fact that we're in snow means that we're probably cold.
I was gonna say, it sounds like Chang Po is trying to see if he can recall things in his memory, if there's some sort of check that he could do for that or something like that. Or if you could just give it to him one or the other.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you remember something about the games, you remember something about the games. So yeah, feel free to ad lib any details.
So what was it,
Basically,
Chang Po? What do you remember?
Well, I guess in my memory, it's what kind of games did Parker used to run? Were they like, I guess, what was the general theme of the games that he used to run?
He'd always leave us stranded out in like the wilderness with like high-tech gadgets and then tell us, oh, you have to figure out how to survive. And of course, the high-tech gadgets that we had were never really the survival type gadgets.
Also, they were annoyingly illogical.
I believe that's what I just said.
Okay.
I'm gonna realize I have some just general powers or scriptures at my fingertips here. see if I can detect any settlements in the area, in the nearish area that we're in.
Okay. So the way the detect works is you have to detect something related to your sea god. So what sort of thing, like what aspect of the settlement? Like, are you trying to detect like fresh water, or something like that for a harbor? Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah, we could detect a man-made structure, because in the sea that's a very specific thing. So if that's not too vague, something
okay,
like a
yeah,
harbor is perfect.
gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and just roll your d12 just to see whether you acquire some god debt or not.
I do. It's a
You do?
one.
Oh my. So okay, so that's fortuitous. So so Gail, the lighthouse keeper, you hear her say, there is a harbor about a day's travel from here, but you don't want to go there. There's only death towards the harbor. Um, so you feel that, and while you're sort of trying to get your bearings and discern the direction, you actually hear a fight just over the hill of two giant monsters crashing against each other, and you know, and what sounds to be like a sort of violent encounter. I don't know if you wanted to investigate that or continue trying to search for more peaceful settlement.
Lex is just going to absentmindedly start walking towards the crashing noises out of curiosity.
Okay.
I'm gonna relay the information that
Mhm.
Gail has relayed to me to everyone else, so they are also in on that knowledge.
Mhm.
William's going to say, well, I'm all for running into death, but that sounds closer. So I'm going to run towards it and see what I find. And
Okay.
then we can go to die.
So William and Felix over the hill, you see at first what appears to be two giant hairy men fighting. But then you can see that one is a Yeti and the other is a Bigfoot. And they are just wailing on each other, fighting for territory. Do you feel like taking a side in this conflict?
Roughly how far away are they? Like, could I shout at them?
You could shout at them, but then that would garner the attention of both of them.
I just kind of feel like, let's just watch, because I'm pretty sure we had this debate once. Well, I don't want to say the P word because I don't want to set Charlie off running, but I believe we had this debate about who would win a fight once. And we didn't exactly come to a conclusion. It was kind of a split decision.
Maybe that's now playing out in front of us. I think that's what you're getting at.
So
Um,
I can ask my AI things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask the AI what these creatures are and why are they fighting?
Yeah. So the AI um, says processing. These appear to be divergent species from a common ancestor, that are now in a territorial dispute. And you can see at their feet that there seems to be a hunted kill, and they're now squabbling against each other. And you see the Bigfoot, who just decks the Yeti in the side of the head, and you can't tell who got there first. But these two creatures are continuing to sort of bash each other. Do you want to engage in this fight, or are you waiting to see who settles between the two?
AI, do these creatures possibly contain fair gold?
Negative. No fair gold detected in these creatures.
Chang Po, didn't we have a wager where I said that a Bigfoot would beat a Yeti, and you said that a Yeti would beat a Bigfoot, and if I won, my pizza was free for a month, and if you won, I had to have pepperoni on my pizza. I seem to remember us making this wager 4 years, 3 months, and 18 days ago.
Basically, except you did have one detail. I don't want to say the word, but wrong. It was a pepperoni and onion pizza.
Still, did we specify any rules regarding aiding the cryptids, or was it just who was standing at the end?
Speaking
Oh
of
boy.
standing, you see the Yeti attempt to swing back at the Bigfoot, but he misses and trips like the Fallen in that first encounter. And so now the Yeti is down, and the Bigfoot is about to lay into him. And yeah, and he just starts. So now the Bigfoot is on top of the Yeti and just absolutely wailing on him. Over and over, and it seems like the Yeti is going down, and the Bigfoot is winning.
Well, it seems that the Bigfoot doesn't need my assistance, but you owe me some pizza when we get home.
Fully expected it. Is there anybody else that seems to be around that might be witnessing um, these two things going at each other? Like any other, just because this is our central focus, but we're kind of looking more out into the distance. Do we see anything else or anything that, I guess, as the fight progresses, kind of maybe something fluctuates within our field of view?
So now that you can see that the Bigfoot has won, and he's beaten the Yeti, you can see a few humans kind of emerging from the brush who were waiting for an outcome, and it looks like they're about to ambush the Bigfoot who has beaten the Yeti in this conflict. What do you do? Do you take a side, or do you continue to watch?
I'm just going to go ahead and head down for a second and say, all right, Charlie, stay, don't run in the middle of danger. I'm just going to I'm just going to kind of just, why don't we hold up for a minute? This seems like a bad idea. If this thing was territorial about what, and I kind of motioned out to whatever kind of kill it had or whoever had it. How do you think it's going to do against humans? Because I'm pretty sure you couldn't beat the Yeti. So how about everybody just walks away?
But I'm supposed to be illogical. So if that's logical, doesn't that mean I'm supposed to do the opposite?
Yeah, I think the logical thing would be to go kill all the Yeti and the humans. Would you like some aid in that?
So we should kill the Yeti's almost dead, right? So we should go kill
Mhm.
the humans before they kill the Bigfoot.
Sorry, kill the Bigfoot and the humans. You must forgive me, these minor quandaries.
So we should kill them all.
The humans may be of some use to us, and we can decide what to do with them afterwards. But we might gain favor with them if we help them at first.
I'm gonna ask my AI real quick just to figure some things out. Is the Bigfoot intelligent?
Yes, Bigfoot have there have been signs that they have a culture of their own, literature and art forms that have been discovered in the year 2375. Um, but many people still disregard that as the developing skills of an emerging intelligence rather than a fully formed intelligence itself.
I have a question on observation.
Yes.
What are these humans wearing?
So they are wearing furs to keep warm, and they're carrying like nets and spears. So they look like a hunting party. Like they look like a monster hunting party. and they are, I mean, at this point, it seems like they've launched into their ambush. They're about to
So
launch into their ambush on the
they're
Bigfoot.
hunting a sentient being.
Yes, they are
the-
out to
I
hunt
run full speed ahead.
the-
As soon as
Oh.
I hear from Lex that the
Mhm.
Bigfoots are intelligent and they're being hunted, I pull my rapier out and charge into the fray.
Okay, excellent.
right as he goes, like, oh geez, I reach down, I look for a rock, and I just throw it over his head, trying to get near the Bigfoot just to see in case it hasn't seen, just to give it some kind of I guess heads up, and maybe if it sees it, give it a chance to retreat.
Okay,
I'm gonna go be like, all right, well, here we go. And I'm gonna pull up my revolver, and I chose as the first part or the first enhancement for my gun, the sniper perk, so I can shoot from anything I can see.
All right, so we're gonna go in those orders. We're gonna get Charlie running down the hill towards into this combat, and then we've got a warning. So we're gonna say that the Bigfoot is aware and it just turned around, and so now Bray, are you also you're still staying back, and you just threw a warning rock. You're not charging in with Charlie, correct? Oh, you're muted.
As I do that, I'm kind of jogging. I'm trying to try to keep up with Charlie.
Okay, so Charlie will act first in the melee round. Felix, you go ahead and you get in a shot, or Lex, you get in a shot with your gun for sniping at one of the humans. So go ahead and roll a dexterity pool with your Neo die.
All right. I got a 10, a 4, a 1, and a 2.
10, 4, 1, and 2. Okay, so you shoot this guy, and it knocks him clean on his back, and he lets out a yelp at the same time that the Bigfoot is looking up from, it was eating the Yeti, from the Yeti that it was chomping into, and it turns around and sees these three adventurers behind it, or monster hunters behind it, and then one of the other ones is going to run up and do an attack on it, and it is able to hit the Bigfoot. It plunges a spear into its side, and the Bigfoot yelps out a very pathetic cry for help. So now, what is our Holland Han? Are you engaging in this as well?
Yeah, so I see what's happening, and I'm gonna run up as close as I need to I assume I have a level 1 acquaintance with the sea god at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use my ability, the drowning, to attempt to fill one of these hunters' lungs with water.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead and give me a wisdom roll with your D12.
D12 is 9, and
Okay.
then I have 2 6s and a 5.
2 6s and a 5. Wow. Okay, so that's 4 hits. So one of these other hunters, you see the snow around it kind of just converge in on this hunter, and it rushes in through its nose and mouth and eyes. And he drops his spear, and he goes clamoring at his neck before he just falls down dead. So now there are only 3 hunters. So you've acted, Felix has acted. Holland, do you do anything, or are you holding back on this encounter?
I think I'm gonna watch.
Okay.
I might come in at the end of the next round, so I would like to be in the turn order, but
Okay.
I am for this round going to just observe what my party is doing.
Okay, gotcha. So, Felix, do you have a 3 dexterity?
Yes.
Okay, and then Charlie, you also have 3 dexterity. Okay, excellent. And then everyone else is 2s. Okay, so that makes sense. So now Charlie and Chengpo or Charlie and Bray are in melee range for this attack. Everyone's taking action. The Bigfoot is swinging down at the man who. Well, actually, no. So there's two other. Yeah. So there's two other hunters who are attacking towards the Bigfoot. And okay, so that is one throws a net on him, but it's way too small of a net, and it really only drapes over its arm. And then the next one attacks, and you can see where the arm was held up that the hunter slashes into the Bigfoot's hand, and there's a spilling of blood across the snow. So you can see that the Bigfoot's wounded, and it roars in retaliation, and it swings out at the hunter who stabbed it, and it just completely crushes him in one hit. So there are now two hunters, one that's clamoring up, and the other who had just thrown a net. Charlie and Bray, you're both down there. Who's attacking first?
That would be me.
Excellent. All right. Which one are you going for?
The one that stabbed my buddy, the Bigfoot, who earned me all the pizza.
Bigfoot has flattened him to a paste. So you have either the net thrower or the one that Felix had shot.
I thought that there were two that managed to.
Oh, right. Two that. Okay. Yes. Sorry about that. So
yeah.
So okay. So you're
the one
you're
that's
going
not
the
the
other.
net thrower.
Okay. Gotcha.
So is that how many dice am I throwing?
So you're rolling your dexterity pool plus your fool die.
3. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So 3 and then 1. 6, 5, 1.
Okay.
And 6, which is not a.
Okay. So you now
But
have
it does
4.
mean that I get to
You can, yeah.
add a fluke and roll again.
Yes. You can. Well, you can roll an additional die to your pool there.
Oh, it's not my die again. It's just an additional.
It's just an additional die.
I'll still be adding a fluke.
Yes.
And that'll
yes.
give me 4 flukes, but I will add
Okay.
roll another die. 3.
Okay. So you have 2 successes. You run up to the guy who had
I have
cut into
3 successes.
3 successes. I'm not sorry.
6, 5, and 1. So 6 and 5,
Uh-huh.
and then 6.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's 3 successes. Okay, great. So you run towards him. He tries to hold up an arm against you, but you run your rapier through him, and you've wounded him. So his guard is down, and he's taken a wound. He's now bloodied as well as the Bigfoot had been bloodied. Okay, so now Bray, did you want to attack as well?
Yeah, I'll go up and attack the one that was around the Charlie's attack.
Mhm.
So just kind of dragging the sword kind of on the ground a little bit, tip, and just kind of upward swing for 2 6s and a 5.
Okay, 2 6s and a 5. Then you cut him down, clear away. What does that look like? What do you do after with your big swing?
It's just real quick. Like I kind of blade is kind of like the tip of the blade is kind of drag on the ground, and I just kind of use that momentum. One quick just swing upwards, have it diagonal right across them. Blade comes down, just kind of right down back of my side, just kind of in a mildly defensive stance, just trying to see, okay, what is going on.
Okay, all right. So you've swung into him. Now, Lex, you see that there was the one that the one that threw the net is now seeing other people join this, and one of them's like, "What are you doing here? This is our hunt. You can't steal this from us. This is our Bigfoot fan square." And he actually is going to try to attack Bray.
I respond though, No one can own a Bigfoot. They have their own sentience, and I don't believe in slavery.
There we go. So he runs up towards Bray, um, and but he misses. You're able to dodge. So what do you do? What do you do with that?
Is that to me?
Yeah. You're the next. You can be the next act.
I'm gonna see that and then take another shot because there's only the one guy left, right?
Well, there's two guys. There's the one who just attacked him, and then one on the ground who is back on his feet now.
I will shoot the one that just attacked again, trying
Okay.
to play a little Overwatch here.
Okay.
All right. That's another 10, a 4, a 3, and a 2.
4, 3, and a 2. Okay. So you hit, and it hits him in the shoulder. So he drops his spear, like not dropping the spear, but lowering his guard a bit. So you've pierced through his guard, and now he's able to be wounded. Okay. Then it is we're going to say the Bigfoot goes, and then Hannah. So the Bigfoot is going to smash at the one guy who is attacking him, and yeah, he picks up the guy off the ground and he throws him into the trees, and you just hear a Wilhelm scream as he flies away. So Han, are you going to finish off this last monster hunter, or are you going to try to keep him, just incapacitate him to keep him alive?
I think I'm going to ask the sea god if we can do a kelp blast and
okay.
keep him, whoever this
Okay.
is, tied up and immobile.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll your wisdom pool with your D12.
D12 is 8,
Mhm.
and then I have 1 4 and 2 3s.
Okay, so you do successfully. He is now, the kelp flies out from your hammer or your hands, however you gesture towards him, and that just binds him and wraps him up. So he is now like a little kelp encased cocoon. So now, Charlie, now that it looks like the Bigfoot had just thrown his the last attacker into the trees. He is now looking towards all of you, unsure. How do you regard this Bigfoot?
Well, I mean, I've been watching how my party has been working behind all this, and obviously my personal opinion is they got all wrong. This Bigfoot is not gonna help us get out of here, cause it might be sentient, but it's verging sentience. Doesn't have the ability to talk, doesn't have anything like that. And I think Han had it right capturing that other guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if there's a way for me to make a big show to like scare off the Bigfoot and have it like run away.
Maybe. I mean, at this point your big show is your voice, and your emotion is loathing.
Yep.
So I think it would be a bit more of a subtle influence. But I think it'd be possible if you wanted to try and influence the Bigfoot like that.
I would like to try and influence Bigfoot like that.
All right.
You have me roll.
Go ahead, start by rolling your D4.
I got a 4 again.
A 4 again? Okay. This is going to get dicey. So go ahead and roll your charisma pool.
I got a 6, a 5, and 2 2s.
6, a 5, and 2 2s. Okay, so you have 2 successes. And so now with those, you can either increase or decrease the intensity of 4. So you can take it down to 2, or you can leave it at 4, or up to 6.
I mean, how well do I understand my powers is the real question.
I think that after the display with the Fallen, you've seen that this power is intense. It's intense and potentially beyond your control. At least in that moment. In this moment, you can feel you have the possibility for a bit more restraint. Um,
I'm gonna make them feel it intensely, but I'm not gonna make them feel at either 4 or 6, so at 2.
a two? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And so what do you say? What do you say to this Bigfoot in this booming voice, in this storm cloud that appears around your head and as the fall of rain goes over everyone?
I will say, let me see, since I'm loathing, let me see if I can do this cleverly. I will say, you have done your bit here. This this place is no longer for you. You have had your meal, had your fill. It is time to go.
Okay. So you want it to loathe uh, the place. So you want it to move on. Okay. So you do that and you see this like, you know, um, Bigfoot's eyes get teary eyed and as it had this moment of, oh, it had this hunt that was successful and it but now it doesn't feel that way anymore. So it's actually going to make a wisdom roll, um, and it realizes that you are the one that made it feel this way. Um, and this Bigfoot starts crying, and it says, why, and it runs away crying out with why, because it doesn't know why you would have made it feel unhappy with itself, but it also can't bear to be around you anymore. And so it does flee, as you hear, cries of intelligence from it as it runs off into the snowy embankments. So how does everyone else feel about what Holland just did to this poor Bigfoot?
I'm gonna look
Parker
over at
sure
Holland.
does like to jab it in me. Huh.
I'm gonna look over at Holland and be like, "You didn't have to hurt his feelings. We could just ask it to leave."
I look at him and I say,
It could have been a valuable ally in our quest for the pizza.
look, I'll be honest with you. You said it yourself. It's a verging intelligence. I didn't expect it to react quite that way. I just want it to move on.
And so then the tied up Kelpie bad guy, you can hear him kind of, there's sputtering, but he's like,
So
do you want to?
I just remove
Probably talk to
the
him.
piece of kelp that's over his mouth. You're like, all right, what do you have to say for yourself?
Myself? It's yourself who should be apologizing. We were hunting that Bigfoot fair and square, and you just disrupted our kill. Why would you do something like that?
Why would you hunt a sentient species?
You heard him. He couldn't make it two words together. That's not sentience. That's just Bigfoot.
I'm gonna ask him. So, are they all Bigfoots, big feet? What are they all a Bigfoot? Is that the species here, or what's the plural?
Well, I think it's big feets. Big feets is what we call them.
How many roughly are there in the area?
Oh, that was at least one of three. He's probably going back to his friends.
Good for him. You do realize you were on a losing side of that battle, right? I know it seemed like you had the upper edge, but it's pretty clear that you didn't bring enough people.
And with that, about five more people emerge from the bushes where the one guy had thrown, as they see all of you, and they know that you have a dictator amongst them, and they start fleeing in the opposite direction of the Bigfoot.
Well, that was quick.
I'm just gonna yell after him. Bye.
So I look
Alright,
at the guy
ready?
tied up and I just say, so where would they be going? Be honest with us.
Honest with you? Why would I be honest with you? You've done nothing to engender my support.
I could do something to engender your support. Do you like your head?
Calm
Real
down,
quick,
William.
real quick.
There is still the
I'm
remains of the.
Charlie here.
Excuse me, Charlie. As I was saying, there is still the remaining corpse of the Yeti, is there not?
There is a Yeti corpse.
Do you eat Yeti?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you're asking the hunter if he eats
Yes.
Yeti? That's we could probably salvage that one. If you're not claiming it, you're not claiming the Yeti.
I
I'm gonna
need a
pause and be
trade.
like, before we give him that, do you have any fair gold?
Oh,
I was about to
one
say
of
a
those
trade could be
types.
made.
I only
Right.
eat cheese pizza and
Also,
eggs.
you know
Well,
Parker.
Charlie here doesn't have any issue with it, apparently. Sorry, go Chang.
I just asked the guy, like, also, do you happen to know a Parker by chance?
Parker. Parker. The name's familiar, but I can't place a face.
He rides a dragon, and I don't know how much of a face he has anymore because it got all black and spidery and weird. But he took
Didn't
my
it become
pizza.
20 sides or something?
It wasn't quite that. I'm not turning myself into die. There's a limit to my hubris. I'll ride a dragon, but I won't become a god. And that's where, so as you describe Parker to him, his eyes turn black, and you hear Parker's voice emerging, and he's like, he just sighs, says, "Well, I'm glad you've taken to it, but I was hoping you'd pick a side, and somehow you've disappointed everyone in this situation." And then the eyes return to normal, and the hunter just kind of looks around as if he hadn't even heard what he just said.
Parker, if you wanted me to pick a side, you had to buy the pizza. I will take the side that gives me my pizza.
To be fair, we kind of did take a side. I mean, we took the Bigfoot side, so I don't know what Parker's talking about.
I do wonder, how does Parker contact us and yet we can't respond?
Maybe he's
Though,
always listening and just chooses not to respond to us.
I mean, our party clearly picked a side. I just sort of ruined that for them, but
Maybe he was talking to you.
I think most of us chose the Bigfoot here.
Mhm.
But to each their own. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Real quick, because I just want to do an experiment. Back in high school, what was Parker's favorite movie?
Favorite movie was Big Trouble in Little China.
I all of a sudden just look up this guy and say, Big Trouble in Little China is the worst movie in the entire existence of cinema.
And despite the sky being clear or just simply overcast, not dark, a bolt of lightning lands right next to you, but doesn't hurt, just enough to startle you.
Everybody knows that Harry and the Hendersons is the best movie ever.
um, so I didn't know if since this actually I wanted to take a break a little before this. We got a little further than just into die at this point. I didn't know if we wanted to take a moment and kind of collect ourselves, or if you're engaged and you want to either follow the Bigfoot or the hunters. You're muted, Tad.
I'm definitely ready for lunch, so this is a good
Okay.
break point. If this is a good
Okay.
break point for you.
Okay.
I think that works for me. Let's
So-
take a
10 minutes, 15. What do you think?
I think 15 or 20.
Let's say
15.
15 rush it roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say 135.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
All righty. Okay. And then yeah, we can talk. Okay, so coming back after the break, you're now at odds of where to go. Which of the three cardinal directions is pulling you? Are you going to follow the monster hunters, follow the trail of blood that old Bigfoot left behind, or take your chances at the Harbor of Death?
Han, which way's the harbor?
Let's see. Gail, can you point us in the right direction?
And you hear the waves crashing from inside your mind and the light continuing to pulsate through the darkness. And Gail just says, "Oh, child, I suppose I can't turn your hand one way or another, but you'll have to learn on your own for this one." And a pathway in the snow starts melting and turns into a rushing stream, and you know that that's the way to go.
Charlie
I just say
runs
grateful
down the
for your
pathway.
assistance.
Well, that's convenient.
Yes, that's the way.
And so you follow
Charlie is
along,
nearly out of sight.
nearly out of sight. So running along the stream, the snow abruptly ends as the land turns into a beach with black sand and the waves crashing up upon it. And you can see just a faint glimmer. This harbor is merely a single dock made from bones that extends into the water. You can see a small glint on the horizon.
Lex is gonna say, "Hey, AI, what is the Harbor of Death known for?"
The Harbor of Death is known for eternal suffering and damnation amongst most circles. However, on the horizon, you can detect a significant amount of fair gold.
Well, all right, guys. Seems fine. Let's keep going. Lex is gonna take off ahead of after Charlie.
Running to the end of the Bone Harbor. And this is where Han Gale comes up in the back of your mind and says, "My warnings couldn't heed you, but I can't leave you to drown in this sea." And so she, counterintuitively enough, she makes a boat out of the water to where it appears as if it's sitting atop the waves, just like a sort of nested rowboat large enough for all of you to fit in. And you know, it's water you can stand on, that, you know, this ship atop the waves is somehow safe for you.
It's water that isn't displaced.
That isn't displaced.
Have they caught up with Charlie yet?
I guess is well, yes, Charlie.
I would have been chasing after him the second he wandered off.
Because when Charlie gets there and all there is a dock and no pizza, he sits down on the edge of the dock and just kind of shakes his head.
This ship you seem to have summoned will probably catch us up fairly quickly to the rest of them.
The sea god doesn't seem to be leading us astray, so I would trust this vessel.
Okay. Then as you all get into this boat made of water atop the water, it carries you against the current, against the waves of this vast ocean. And you begin traveling towards the small glint off in the distance. And as you do, as it grows closer and the sun goes down and the waves beneath you start turning darker and darker and redder and redder. And even though your boat remains made of water, you are now sailing on an ocean of blood. Any thoughts, questions, concerns? If you want to take a moment to talk each other over.
I look
We're
down at
sailing
the ocean and momentarily I'm excited because I think it could be pizza sauce.
Nope, nope. I just grabbed it. Nope, nope, no, no, no.
So, Chang, now your vigilance. It sounds like it's gone from standard to intense as you're holding back Charlie here. So go ahead and you're at a 2 as your sword just says to you, "Oh man, he's a handful, but I know you got it. You just keep him in line."
That voice keeps reminding me of something. Sorry, that was
That's
ugly.
Meatwad from Aqua Teen.
Yep,
There.
yep. We're working on it. Working on it.
Yeah. So I didn't know if
So was the harbor just that one dock?
yes, the harbor was just the dock made of bones, and now you're sailing on the ocean of blood.
Chang Po,
And
what are the ingredients to your pizza?
Tomato, or like okay. There's sugar. There's dried basil, dried garlic,
No,
dried
no.
oregano.
Andre wouldn't put sugar in my pizza.
Well, it's in the sauce. It's in the sauce.
Andre wouldn't put sugar in my pizza.
Okay, for your special pizza, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the. I thought you were asking about the store pizza, not the special pizza from Andre.
Anyhow, we'll get back to that. We need to figure out how to lure Parker out, cause I think this game's gone on long enough.
Parker, I'm
And now we're in an ocean of blood.
hungry.
and so as you call out to him, you see a storm cloud appearing ahead of you, and a pair of eyes incur in it, and that's where Parker his voice rings out. He says, I told you to explore, but I never thought you would go this far. And that's
Is he
when
visible?
he's not visible.
Damn.
Just a pair of eyes in a cloud.
Are
And
the eyes close enough for me to jump
Wait
and
a minute.
stab?
He can
know
keep
that-
hearing me, right?
yes, but hold on. So as at that moment, as the boat is moving along on the ocean, there's a distinct tilt as about 20 degrees as everyone shifts within the ocean of blood, and now there is a clear island you are sailing to. And despite looking all around, the clouds that were just overhead are now gone in an instant. And you feel another well of power surge into you. And if everyone wants to take a quick advancement, you have entered another region of die. You have gone from 1 to 13. So if we want to just do quick advance, I mean, if there's a specific ability that you'd like, go ahead and take it. But for quick advancement, we can just do a clown school for the fool, a stance or venture ability for the emotion knight, another emotion for Holland, another upgrade for Felix, and another god level for Han.
Man, I had to choose one of those. Let me take a quick look.
I mean, if you just want to pick another emotional spoke, then you know.
No, I think that's probably what I'll do. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want. Got an idea.
Okay.
So another upgrade for my gun, right?
Either an upgrade or a new gift, if you would prefer to take a new gift.
Wait, it's the sorry. It's the knight who has the D8, right?
Yes. And he
Would
is a
Bray-
vigilance knight.
Would Bray roll me a D8? We'll start with one being loathing. So
Okay.
hopefully he doesn't roll a 1.
Oh. You're still muted.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Oh. Oh.
I don't know what we do with that. Have him re-roll?
Yeah, have him reroll.
Let's have you re-roll.
Hold on. It's gotta be 3.
Three.
There's 4 ones in a row.
Wow.
Oh,
Get him
apparently I
out
just
now.
got Vigilance.
Okay, there we go. That's fate for you.
Yep. My second emotion is Vigilance.
Okay.
I originally had like some thoughts, but I don't know that I want to go with them. So we'll do
Okay.
Vigilance.
Okay. Yeah, if I would even say if everyone consents to you using it on them, you can use that as like a general buff to like make everyone more alert, kind of like, stimulants, like they just had some coffee.
I'm gonna say that since Charlie plays this way already,
Uh-huh.
definitely Fool's Rush in.
Excellent. Excellent.
Just to clarify, so I'm
Mhm.
choosing an upgrade for the gun, which is explosive.
Okay.
So the special I have to roll to activate that, right? Is it rolling like sixes or something?
6 or higher.
Six or
So
higher.
yeah, so on your Neo dice, that's a 50% chance of getting that special. And it's just a 6 on any of the 6-sided.
Gotcha. So if any one of those is true, it activates. Cool.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I'm going to add a level into a new god,
Okay.
the God of the Wild. So
God
I'll
of the
just
Wild, excellent.
be level 1 in God of the Wild and the Sea God.
Okay. Okay. And you still have a minor debt to the sea god. Okay. For the God of the Wild, I mean, do you have any quick names, or the first thing that popped in my head was Jane Goodall?
That's a good imagery.
Okay.
The only name that's coming to mind immediately is like Ivy.
Oh, Poison Ivy could work too. Yeah.
Yeah, Poison Ivy could work. Poison
Okay.
Ivy could actually be good too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, you're still on mute, Tad.
It's Poison Ivy's real name. I'm trying to remember right now.
Pamela Isley.
Okay, so make it Pamela Goodall.
Pamela Goodall. Okay. Pamela Goodall, Goddess of the Wild.
She can be named Pamela. I'll call her Pam.
There we go. Good old Pam. All right.
I think that she doesn't actually like that though.
Your god is a spray that gets used for cooking.
There we go. Okay. So if everyone is ready with this new surge of power as the water washes up on the shore of this island that again is made of bones and bound together by what flesh remains upon them, as it seems like is just a mass of the remnants. And there's a massive tunnel ahead of you where, despite this island being, barely larger than the room you started in, there's merely one way to go, and it is deeper within.
Guess there's not an option of just going back, right? That tunnel doesn't seem friendly.
There's clearly pizza at the end of the tunnel.
I'm not so sure about that. I would remain vigilant, Charlie.
I'm just gonna beat Charlie before he goes in, just in case there's something in there. I'm just gonna jump in before Charlie.
Okay, jumping in. So you go rushing in, and you walk down through this tunnel as a group long enough to where you can tell, and on its steady decline, that it is you've gone under the ocean, as it will. And you can feel this rushing, surging above you, and hear this chittering within the walls as you can't see anything within the bones, but a faint twinkling as creatures rush along around the inside. And you come to another clearing within this tunnel, where you can see the discarded equipment of many heroes before you, of swords sticking from the ground, and shields, and people who have fallen in battle. But there's no other life that you can detect.
Did Parker ever tell of like other characters that he might have played when he wasn't GMing, or did he always GM?
I think he always GM'd. At least we didn't.
Did he have
Yeah.
any favorite characters?
I
Any
mean,
favorite characters?
feels to me
As
like the only other person in this group who'd be a GM would be you, except that you'd be too lazy.
So as you say, are there any
Oh no, that'd
other
be too lazy.
any
Just
other characters?
wouldn't get the people to play behind me GMing.
Okay.
Any like NPCs that he was particularly fond of.
So as you say that, an arrow comes whizzing towards you and just grazes above your shoulder, and that's when you remember that the one time he wasn't a GM, he played an assassin, and you can see a fallen who just fired that shot ahead of you, and it roars in disgust that it didn't hit you further, but you did take one hit to your guard. As there's now a fallen assassin standing and shrieking before you.
And I responded and try to do like a quick draw, kind of like Old West cowboy style with my revolver.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. I will say this one has a defense of 1. But yeah, go ahead and shoot away.
Cool. And then the fair gold is still active,
Well,
right?
except that I'm the fool
Yes.
that rushes in. So I go in front of everybody.
Okay. Oh, so you act. What doesn't that say for any encounter that's not an ambush? You're muted again.
Holland was ambushed. I wasn't
Holland, okay.
ambushed.
Okay, all right. You want to rush in? We'll get both of those before a reaction from the enemy. So if Felix, you want to, well, we'll have Charlie attack and then Felix shoot what's left.
Cool.
So I go rushing in. And I rolled a 4-3-3.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6.
On your full die? Okay, so that's
Which is not one
Was
of
that-
my flukes.
It wasn't one of. Okay, so now you're at 5 flukes, and you can roll
Oh,
another.
wait a
die.
minute. No. Hold on a second. I didn't roll a 6. It looked like I rolled a 6, but I rolled a 2, which is the
Okay.
other one that's not one of my flukes.
Okay.
Oh, no, I did roll a 6. I accidentally scrolled up, but still
Okay.
not one of my flukes. No fluke.
Okay. So that's 2 successes, and I'm presuming you're going to want to roll another die.
Yeah, I get to roll another d6 now.
Uh-huh.
5.
5. Okay. Okay. So it's 3 successes. So with your rush in, what do you do to this single enemy that has emerged? How do you hit him?
Have you watched Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen how Blinken goes after the wood post
I think so.
with the just crazy sword?
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Just
I
wailing away at him. All right.
wailing away.
Man, his guard is well compromised. He only has 1 left because you did get 2 successes in there. And so now, Felix, you shoot at him.
Didn't I have 3 successes in there?
You
Or
did. He
was
has
I
a defense.
disadvantaged?
He
Oh,
has a
got a
defense of
defense.
1. Yes.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to say since you're well, yeah. So Lex, go ahead and roll an extra die on there, an advantage since Charlie has engaged him.
I was muted. I got 3 6s, a 3 and a 2.
3 6s, a 3 and a 2. So okay, so you have your explosive fire.
Mhm.
3 6. You said 3 6s?
Yeah, because I rolled.
Uh-huh.
You said roll an extra for advantage,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
No,
that
no,
was-
just making sure of how
Yeah.
how effective this went. Okay.
Mhm.
So when your shot rings out and fires into him, it severely wounds this fallen so that it's staggers back, and the shrapnel from your exploding round actually hits 2 other invisible fallen that were to the left and right of this one, And so you can see now that there's not just one assassin, but there are three here. But then they kind of flicker so that they're there, and they've each taken a hit. But then they go back to being invisible. And one more. So it would attack Charlie. There's one of them that would attack him because it's closest in there. So, all right. So that actually has. So wait. So then, Charlie, you have no guard, correct? I'm sorry, you're muted. I couldn't hear you.
So for my stance, I took bodyguard. So if somebody were to attack him, if the attack goes at me.
Excellent. Okay.
Also, I have no defense. I
No,
still
you
have guard.
Wait. Oh, so okay. So the fools rush in. You go in without any defense.
No, you're right. I go in without guard. So I have one defense, but no guard.
Okay. Gotcha. And then the attack was applied to Bray. So, okay. So it actually rolled three hits on there. You have a defense of 1. So that is 2 hits against your guard, which I forget. Where did you end up putting your extra stat points?
Mine went into strength and con.
Strength and con. Okay, cool. All right. So your guard is down because you absorbed that hit from Charlie. Okay. So now amongst the ones left to act. Okay, so that doesn't count as your action, but I feel like that draws you into the narrative. So what do you want to do now? Do you want to so there's the one that was just shot that's down to one last hit that Charlie is closest to. And then there's one more that's still invisible, and one more that has just fired its bow attack at you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a swing at the one that attacked Charlie.
Okay.
And so that is 2 3s and a 6.
2 3s and a 6. Okay. And then what was your D8? Because you are vigilantly engaged at this point. Sorry, you're still muted on that one.
That's a 3.
A 3? Okay. So you've got one success.
Yeah, one success. Okay.
So one success there, which doesn't meet its defense. But that was a special. What was the special ability you chose for your weapon?
The special ability, it's a sharp weapon.
Okay.
And let me see what that was again.
So sharp, I believe that means that it hits out. Oh no, there's fast.
I think it's fast.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Oh, okay, it removes a guard from the opponent. Removes 2 guards instead of 1.
Gotcha. Okay. But unfortunately, this doesn't remove a guard from the fallen assassin. It was just one attack. So you came back towards it, and it just sort of neutralized against it. So now that last one. Actually, I would just say if Holland or Han, if now seeing that attack, if you want to react, which one of you wants to move next?
I want to do this, but I'd like to emotionally charge Bray. I think he needs to be more vigilant.
Okay. I think
I got hit. I'm just saying.
You did get hit. I would say since he just acted, if you want to do that next turn, I think that would be a good idea.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I will wait on that till next turn. In the meantime, I will lash out towards. Is the guy who shot me dead?
No, he's got one hit left.
Then I am lashing out with my voice against him to make an
Okay.
attack.
Okay. And what do you say?
How dare you shoot at me, stumble upon me in my current air. What do I want to say? Hold on 1 second. You should hate yourself for thinking this is an okay thing to do.
Okay, so roll that d4.
All right. I rolled a 1.
And now go ahead and roll your charisma pool.
4, 4, 6, 3.
Okay, so that's a total of 4 successes, which is more than enough to obliterate this last fallen. So what happens to him? When you use your voice to attack as opposed to control or influence, how does that look different? How does that make you feel?
How does that make him feel?
No, you.
Oh,
You
feel?
killed him. You've killed him, and then what does your voice do in its killing power as opposed to its controlling power?
I am now astonished at the fact that he has slumped into a depressive mess of death. And this shocks me that this has occurred, and suddenly I have a well of emotions that I try to hold at bay. And I am slightly terrified of myself.
Okay. So with that, the last fallen that's there is going to try to attack. Oh wait, no, because there's two. There's two in there. Okay. So the one that hasn't acted yet is going to fire a shot towards Lex, and it has 1 hit. So you feel an arrow plink against your shoulder platoon, and your guard is reduced by 1. Okay, so Han, what do you do now?
I'm gonna run to the front of everyone because we still can't see these 2 assassins, right? Or they
They're visible now.
They
now
are
they've,
visible.
They've
Okay.
attacked, so they're visible again.
Okay. I'm still gonna run to the front
Mhm.
and I'm gonna say, Pam, I would like you to allow me to blast a tree through this tunnel to knock over the remaining 2 fallen.
Okay.
Just
okay.
Tree
So
in the
you
tunnel.
Okay, gotcha. So this tree, and she says, "Well, we just met, but if I don't feel like you just deserve this, I really am going to come to your aid." And she says that. So you're going to get just 1 god debt to Pam as branches emerge from the ground and spring up beneath the fallen ahead of you. And I'm going to say, since Charlie was rushed in, he is going to be in these tree branches now that's lifting up, and but he's not entangled because it's kind of a clear branch that you're on. And the two fallen, they're going to get disadvantages on their attacks now that these wild branches are growing out from beneath them. So yeah, now that we're back at the top of the order there. Charlie, it's your move. What do you do?
You're muted.
I'm clearly going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
5-5-2.
You said 5-5-2? Okay. And then
my die is a 6, which is now a fluke.
okay. And you can roll another one.
A 3. So what I'm going to do, since we're up in a tree, is I'm going to swing myself like a monkey in such a way that I kick one of them in the head and break his neck and come around and stab my rapier into the other one's heart.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that your fluke of good luck is that you clip one of them.
I kill them both.
You kill them both with your fluke of good luck.
Right. I kick one in the head and break his neck, and then I stab the other one in the heart. And then I ask, when are we gonna get the pizza, Parker?
So okay, so I'm gonna. So they're not quite both dead. One that you kicked who broke its neck. It is. I'm gonna say that took the full force of your attack, and he's got 2 health left. You've knocked him out of the tree. He is scrambling on the ground.
He shouldn't
and
be
the other
scrambling.
one-
He should at least be paralyzed because I broke his neck.
Well, it's a fallen, so he's already part dead. So his neck is broken, but his machinery still works.
Okay, fine.
So he's half paralyzed. He's half paralyzed. And the one that stabbed, its guard is reduced, so it's just got 3 health left. And so now, but that one that you stabbed is angry, and he is going to claw at you. All right, so that is, you have 1 defense. So that is 1 hit where it's because your guard is down, so it's wounded you once. So it actually, since you're up close, it bites into your shoulder, and you feel that lash of pain. And how does Charlie react to that first true hit in this combat, or this whole session, really?
I think that I hand you my D6 and I say that I dodged away from his swing and in pulling my sword out of him, ruptured his aorta, and I landed on top of the other fallen. Destroyed him.
Okay. All right. So with that, you evaded the bite and turned it to your favor. And the 2 fallen assassin are dead, and you all have a moment to collect yourselves as this combat ends. Yeah, this is the harbor of death. What does anyone say?
I first want to see if there's any fair gold around.
Oh, naturally, 3 more fair gold emerged from the dead fallen.
Excellent. I'm scrounging around on the ground picking that up.
I kind of look. So the bodies that fell, are they still there? Or did they dissipate?
The bodies are still there. It's just the.
I'm just thinking of just maybe more about everything, and with Parker being a forever GM, there's GMs always had a backlog of characters that they wanted to play, and so with all the characters that used to be described of the ones that they want to play, I want to see if these kind of look like them, just because that would maybe give a little bit of a clue of what's going on.
Okay. And you start investigating the fallen assassins, and so you can tell that they do sort of resemble the one time that Parker played an assassin. They have remnants of that, but then as you're starting to look for something from them, that's where you hear a crack of thunder, and Parker appears before you. He had to leave his dragon outside, and he said, "What? I'm sorry, everyone. I know this has been rough. I know this has been hard for you, but what? Why did you come here? What did you come?
Why did you bring us here?
Bring you here? I brought you here because I wanted to give you this rush of power that I thought could be out there. This is what we always wanted whenever we were playing these games. We wanted them to be real, didn't we?
Parker,
Did you lose like 20 years of your life or something?
Parker, look at me. If you wanted me to feel power, you would have brought the pizza.
Oh, and he just laughs. And then he hands you back your fool die. And he said, I'll give you the pizza. And that's when a giant pizza squid emerges from the lower reaches of the tunnel. And it is this giant cheese stick that is leaking sauce from around it and has two giant pepperoni saucers for eyes and is flailing its arms like a muppet as it comes crawling out of the deep. And
Right.
I
Before
say,
it gets to
Parker, that wasn't made by Andre, and you know that I only like cheese.
I was gonna say, before Parker can get away, I use my voice to
Mhm.
tell him that he loathes this place he brought us to and wants to
Mhm.
return home.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Crap, I rolled a 1.
A 1. Okay, go ahead and roll your charisma pool.
4, 4, 3, 1.
4, 4, 3, 1. Okay, so you can either, you can bump that up to at least a 3 if you want, or keep it at a 1.
What does
So
3 get?
3 is as intense of an emotion. So let's put it at as much as deeply as Parker ever loathed himself. He now loathes this place if you set it to a 3.
Yep, we're gonna set it to a 3.
Okay, and so
He wants to leave.
yes, he is going to attempt to resist that. It's going to be very unlikely. Yeah, he fails the wisdom roll there, and he looks at the pizza squid.
Oh, by the way,
And-
this D4 is yours now.
Yes. Okay, so now I'll hold on to this. I have swapped out the D6 for the D4, and I'm feeling, realizing that I didn't think about what everyone else wanted. I look at that pizza squid and I see that there's pepperoni on it, and I see that there's sausage and mushrooms, and I know that William, my friend, only likes cheese, and so I wasn't thinking about what anyone else wanted. I was just thinking about what I wanted, and I was thinking about, in my journey for recovery, I never made enough amends. I only ever thought of myself and thought of the power that I wanted. And I said, Holland, I am so sorry, but for bringing you here, we can leave, but we just need to kill that pizza squid first.
Stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant, Bray. So now we can enter combat, unless you'd like to potentially engage in some creative violence.
Would you like to engage creative violence? I can help you with it.
Me?
No. You don't have creative violence. It's Bray.
Yeah, Bray has
Tonight.
creative violence where you can.
You're on mute if you're talking.
Yeah.
I'm going through that right. I've been going through that.
Mhm. So you can roll just your D8. I'd say at this point that your vigilance is probably quite high. At least high enough, to combat this pizza squid.
And I can push it, nudge it, can't I?
Yeah. Well, no, you would have to release me, and then you'd have
I'm
to
not gonna
see
do
if I
that.
stop
All
floating
right,
this
all right.
world. Yeah.
I wanted to nudge it, but too bad.
Find where that is on here.
I have to stick with what I have now.
Mhm. So Bray, you're on mute again.
So, yep, we're gonna expend all the creative violence.
Okay.
So
go.
I guess at this point, what would you say? I was at 2.
Uh-huh.
I got stabbed.
Mhm.
Um,
So I'd say you're still. I mean, at this point, you're you're rising to the challenge. You saw this squid coming. I'd say you were at a 3. So if you want to go ahead and roll just your d8.
7.
7. Okay, so that is more than enough to clear it. What do you do? What kind of sword play do you engage in to single-handedly dispatch this raging piece of squid?
Basically at this point, I'm just gonna like, I'm just kind of going through everything, and I just start to run towards it, and as the tentacles start to kind of move, it's just kind of jumping from one side to the other, and then just jumping up and just not even going for like any kind of fancy swing, just sword right to the middle of the face,
Okay.
or wherever I perceive a face is.
Plunge it right between the pepperoni saucer eyes. And it doesn't let out a squeal of pain. You just hear the sizzling of melting cheese as it, its tentacles all curl up as it becomes a burnt crisp, and it shrinks down beneath your blade and returns to a little breadstick shaped like a squid with little tentacles.
Is this
coming
when the tunnel starts to crumble apart around us?
This is indeed where all of the bones start falling, and Parker looks around and he says, the world, it's falling apart. It was this primordial chaos. We were supposed to tame it, but I can't bring myself to look at it any longer. Can we just go, please? Just let us go home.
I think we have to escape the cave to get home. We're not going to have enough time for the ritual.
We can do the ritual right here. I say the game is over. Please, just let it be over.
I'll say, let's go home. Game's over.
Let's return for pizza.
Let's go home.
Okie
Go
dokie.
home.
Going home.
Okay. And with that, as the rubble seems to fall apart, then, as it comes crashing down around us, we open our eyes from the darkness, and we're right back in the game store and are surrounded by pizza boxes, and Parker has tears welling up in his eyes, and he just says, I'm so sorry. I didn't think I could make any bigger mistakes, but I did somehow. This was supposed to be a good time, everyone. I'm so sorry.
Next time you want to role play, we could just go to the run fair.
I mean, I know I was kind of hesitant about coming back here, but yeah, we don't have to, dive into some hallucinogenic world. We can just, do what we used to do.
Also, we do have game nights here, and if you just want to be a player, we could arrange that.
Were you thinking just a break and then come back for an epilogue? You're muted.
Still
I
muted.
thought that was the plan. Yes.
I'm so sorry. The plan went awry. We can take a short break if everyone wants to think about how this haphazard game changed their lives.
Let's take
Okay.
Let's take 5.
Take 5.
Come
Okay.
back at like 2:30, 2:35 at the latest,
Okay.
and we'll do a more full resolution.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Sounds good. We're back in 5 or more.
All right.
See you then.
You're gonna tell him.
As soon as the room rematerializes, William grabs his pizza, goes to his bag, takes out his computer and a Ziploc bag in which there is a plastic fork and a plastic knife. He takes the plastic fork and plastic knife out of his Ziploc bag as he opens his computer and starts to cut himself a slice of his pizza. As he's eating it with a fork, he starts typing.
Glad to see William is busy and back at what's important. I didn't know what to expect by coming to see you all, coming back here. This was not it. But I'm still so glad to have seen everyone, and I just feel so connected to you all again. And maybe we don't risk our lives the next time we see each other, but I would love to see you all more.
And before every time you see us again, you either hear the sound of waves or notice trees almost smiling at you as if the gods that you spoke to along the way have never let you go.
You know, it was an interesting time. I don't know whether I enjoyed it or not, but I'm not going to look at gold the same way ever again. I can tell you that much.
And for the next few weeks after this event, you have different dreams every night of 8 different people who you've never met before, and in fantasy garb, how each of them died. And it's always a different night. And you wake up thinking of a different gold piece, but you never learn any of their names and you never meet them.
I just start going looking over. I kind of quietly walk over to the edge of the room where we had the game schedule, and kind of looking, thinking in the back of my head, like, hey, there should be one that Parker should be able to fit in, a game that Parker can slide into, whether or not he wants to run it or play in it. I'm already watching over. I'm already keeping an eye out for William. I should keep an eye out for Parker as well.
And you do. And Parker does join one of your game groups, but he never DMs again. There's a sickness in his stomach that comes over just at the thought of it.
Parker, where have you been for like the last 12 years? You just sort of vanished off the face of, well, the earth.
You know, it sounds cliche to say I was chasing something, but I was, and it, like I said, if this experience I didn't think anything worse than some of the places I ended up, but this is somehow a new rock bottom for me, and I need to collect myself again.
I can relate to that. I my school was rough, and I didn't feel like I did any of you well, to be perfectly honest. I definitely didn't do anybody else well, but um,
And just this evening, you have a dream of a Bigfoot that you befriended and that you know has forgiven you, and the loathing is gone. And even though you might hear its call every now and again, you know that it won't take over in the same ways that it did before.
William finishes eating the pizza, takes a napkin and cleans his face. He says, I'm 6 months ahead on my work, and I've set up the appropriate emails to to turn it in at a pace that will make my various employers think that I'm um, going through such a productive spell that they don't want to interrupt me. I've also set up emails to explain the various reasons that all of you are unable to go back to your jobs to send out on a regular basis. And so as long as Chang Po can figure out a way to bring the pizza with this time, we could go back.
It'll be your world then if we do. And we can only imagine the world that William would create for us to adventure in again. And that was Die. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing along. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. I hope this isn't the last time I DM, despite my character's relinquishing of the role.
How did everybody feel?
Whew. If we were in the same room, I would collect the die from you one by one, say thanks for playing, and put them back in the velveteen box. But over
I
Zoom,
gave you my die.
you did. And it stuck with me. A thorn in Bigfoot's paw.
Thorn in Bigfoot's paw.
Indeed. Ooh. So if you couldn't tell before or not, that is the first game I have ever successfully DM'd. I say that because the only other time I've tried to game master anything was 20 years ago with the D&D group that met up once and then got into drama and never met up again.
Sounds about right.
I couldn't tell. I would have thought you'd done this a
Oh,
lot.
no,
I
it didn't
I
Thank
thought
you.
you were very good at working with everyone's ideas. So
Yeah.
great
Thank you.
job.
Especially
Thank you.
something brand new. Just because every time learning a new system, always trying to figure out like all that little stuff because it's
Mhm.
that feeling like I should know everything,
Mhm.
but you never do. Like I've been DMing for 3 years, 3 or 4 years now. And everyone's like, they're like, okay, what about this? I'm like typing on my computer, like, what is that again? What is that again? What does that spell? And what does that do?
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot, and you did it. I think you handled it really well.
Thank you.
I've been DMing for a while too, and there's definitely, especially with a new system, it's just sort of like figuring out how it works, and I think you
Mhm.
made it run pretty smoothly. I did mention slightly off air before this, and I'll mention it on air, is like, yeah, it would have been cool for everybody to have like sort of a big moment towards the end, just to sort of have a little bit more pizzazz. That's not really a judgment. That's just things I like to see.
I you know I feel because I feel like we didn't get an overcharge in, but that's also slightly a relief because I
Oh,
don't know
I'm
I
not
don't know what
worried.
I would have asked for an overcharge.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about overcharge. It was
Uh,
less. Anyhow,
yeah,
don't worry about
no,
it.
I felt like no, that's okay. I
I think you did an excellent job, and
oh, thank you.
I sometimes I talk in a way, and I think I even do it on the heavy metal podcast and stuff like that, where what I don't want to come off is that I'm
Mm,
actually saying anything negative, because I'm not. I'm just
mm,
saying, oh, like this is super cool.
mhm,
This is, my little critique, which I
mhm,
don't know.
mhm,
I probably learned too much of an art when I was
I want to say
learning
my
art.
brother translation of that was if we'd been able to write a script, we
mhm.
would have had a great big moment for everybody at the end. But
Yep.
Right.
since the nature of RPGs is you don't get to really script them,
Mhm,
uh, we did a fantastic job, and that's like the only note to give for
mhm.
another game is like if there's a way to figure out a way to create that big moment for everybody,
Mhm.
that would be
I think so. That's the odd thing is that even though in the game book they talk about the differences between a regular game of die and a campaign of die, the regular games of die feel like they want to take up a lot of space. Like I definitely underestimated persona generation, and wish that we could have called back to that more and more and continued digging into these people, as opposed to just kind of wandering around. But no, Peter, I did not take any hostility at all.
Awesome.
I am. It takes a lot to ruffle my feathers, and I am also, you know, I do tend to be critical, so I'm always looking for things to do better. So, I hope everyone was at least entertained for an afternoon.
Mhm.
And like Tad said at the beginning, that you'd be willing to do it again at some point.
I had fun, so
Nice.
Yeah, I'd definitely be willing to do this again. And next time we won't have to set up characters unless somebody
Yeah,
really
we
wants
just-
to make a new character,
We just roll
which
with our character.
you could figure
Hmm.
out. But
We could go either way.
I kind of deliberately set it up so that if we wanted to do a campaign practically right out of this, we could.
Hmm.
But
The question is
for
if
people
there's
to
a
think
way
about
to swap Parker with somebody else.
Right. Well, that's what I was thinking is that I feel like we could. I mean, we
Well,
could
you
definitely
did give
reuse
him
some of these
you
characters.
did give him your die, so he could make you take.
The D20.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be
Oh.
interesting.
That could be interesting.
It could.
Well, something we could talk about.
Right.
Or we could, you know, if you wanted to play a similar character, you could feel free. I mean, like,
Or
I feel like,
or we could just sucker him into it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
we could say that, you know, that thing that was said previously isn't actually true. Parker did
Yeah.
eventually.
Right. You never
Or maybe
DM'd
that's
again.
what
Ooh.
happens after he's
Ooh.
gone back.
Or we could do an
Right,
alternative
right.
ending.
Uh-huh.
Alternative ending.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, there's so many options.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, so I actually do. If we were going to do a campaign, what we'd do is he would go back in as the master, but he wouldn't be in control. You know, so that's where we would encounter
maybe
other.
not leave us this time.
Exactly. That's you know that's because I do think for you know especially if we wanted to do like an open-ended campaign or something exploring different comics we enjoyed or you know movies what have you then you know
I hadn't even
that's
thought about that. You could literally take each side of the die and make it
Mhm.
like a comic universe.
exactly you could say like okay this one is
Yeah.
Animal Pound, this one is Helen of Windthorpe.
Smile.
You know?
so is this
Style.
a TTRPG and comic book club?
I mean, it is a comic book podcast, so I
Yeah.
mean,
If I was gonna say if you want to
It
if you
could
wanted
be,
to
yeah. I mean, just give me. I did manage to read 2 1/4 of Die of like
Yeah.
I meant to try to finish it and I just didn't get to it. But
right.
I mean, we could have like a little reading list for
Yeah.
before.
Mhm.
I'm actually thinking about and like this would be super challenging for the people who had to do game mastering, but
Mhm.
like taking things that like don't fall into normal game type stuff at
Mhm.
all. Like take the YA high school book and
Mhm.
put it as one side of die.
Yeah, you would
high
have a
school.
bunch of different ones. I've got a couple different ideas for how to do that.
So yeah, I mean we could definitely have fun with this if it's something that
Yeah.
people want to continue doing.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'd be totally down with continuing doing it. What I kind of wonder is because we're 6 different people from 6 different sort of. I mean, I know a lot of us read comics, so I'm
Mhm.
fine with that too. Is if we just wanted to pull media that,
Yeah.
you know, we were fond of, and
Yeah.
each of us gets like 3 pieces of media, and then we have
Yeah.
to decide on pieces of media that we all have to agree on, right? Or
Yeah.
something like that.
That sounds
It's a good way to do it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like if it's one of your pieces of media, you're like the like main character of the group. Like you know, you kind of take the lead that adventure, one of those
Sure.
sorts of things. We could do that. Yeah, and then you know, it's that's one of the nice things of both listening to Kieron talk about the game and then sitting down and playing it is that it is infinite and infinitely adaptable to where there's not really anything out of bounds that you wouldn't be able to do with this. You know, some stuff would work better than others, but it's open ended.
I think
Well,
that I mean, and now I'm just falling into like podcaster mode. I think
Mhm.
that it would be hard to get together on too regular of a basis to do
Sure.
5 hours, but I think
Right.
that
No.
something could be done where we did like an hour a month to,
Mhm.
you know, hash out what's where we're going, whatnot, and like
Mhm.
quarterly do a 3 hour
Yeah.
where
And then
we move
have
the game along, and then do a couple hours where we talk about okay, what zones are we going to move into, what
Mhm. There's a
um,
lot of metagaming as you campaign.
so like two metagamer gaming sessions for every like gaming session
Mhm.
or or something like
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
Wind
if
up.
I were to, come at it from the other angle of the running the game angle,
And that's what I was hoping to spur, because I'm
Mhm.
way more versed in how to run a podcast than how to run a game.
like
Right.
having a few sessions each month where you have a few hours at it, I mean, like you'll sort of get an idea of like where people are going, and like
Mhm.
again, I don't think we need a like 5 hour session. I don't think that's
Right.
it was fun for this time.
Mhm.
Right.
And I'm all for it if people want to do that every once in a while. But if you're gonna do something regular, I think it's fair to try and shoot for like 2 or 3 hours. Or
Mhm.
I mean, I
Right.
always prefer like the 3 hour bucket because it's like, okay, it feels like
Not
there's
too
enough
long,
time to
not too
actually,
short.
yeah, not too long, not too short.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And also
Something
with
happens.
this game being more of a mechanics light
Mhm.
system versus, has anyone ever played Shadowrun?
I
I
have
have
nothing
not
on.
yet.
It is without a doubt one of the most complicated games I have ever, like all my friends, they love to play it,
Mhm.
but like that's one of those games where it's like you need like the multiple hours regularly just to be able to remember
Right.
everything. Meanwhile, something like this, like me and my friends have played. I played Die once, and then basically we were playing Starfinder,
Mhm.
which is and when we couldn't meet for Starfinder, when we had missing players, the person who was running it, they had a bunch of whole bunch of stuff, and we would just like do a pickup game. Like
Mhm.
we do, we played Die, we played Monster of the Week,
Mhm.
a whole bunch of those. A lot of them were the D6 systems because they were very easy to kind of jump in and out of because
Mhm.
you aren't tied by um like an entire like a giant thing. It's usually confined to most of your stuff is confined to one or two pieces of paper versus an
Mhm.
entire
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with that. There's a lot of systems, Die being one of them, Monthly Week, which we just mentioned, is another one of them, which is fairly easy to just have your character and not have to worry about all the
Yeah,
other hundreds of
and
pages.
and a lot of games are like as far as the creativity, it's like there's just like, and this goes for pretty much any game TTRPG is they're as creative as you want them to be. So
Mhm.
like, or as the GM or the players or anything, like it's I always equate when I try and explain these types of games, it's like it's kind of like choose your own adventure, the old choose your own adventure books. But instead of like four choices, you actually can just you can try and do anything. Not you won't necessarily
Mhm.
get to, but you can attempt to.
Mhm.
Right.
Just how in my last session, my friends ended up playing Texas Hold'em with a dead cat.
Wow. Yeah.
They thought that was the solution to the puzzle.
Wow. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that reminds me. I made a riddle for this. Um,
That we never
that
used.
that I didn't get to use. So
Let's hear
this.
it.
Okay. So here we go. You were given me before birth. I can't be held, but impossible to drop. Speak my truth to share a smile, but to misuse me is truly vile. What am I?
Memory.
No,
0, 1.
no, not a bit
Sorry,
flip.
bad math jokes.
That's okay. It's any more guesses before I
There's a part of me that wants to say a name, but that
Tad, you're
almost
talking, but I don't hear you.
I
said
heard him.
there's part of me that wants to say name, but that's not automatically given before birth.
Mhm.
Um,
You're close. It is pronouns.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
I could see
So
that.
yeah, yeah.
Think
All
my
righty. So I'm gonna say at this point we should take discussion of what comes next off air.
Okay.
We'll figure out what we want to do. So for everybody listening, thanks for maybe coming on a whole 4 episode journey with us. And we might be back, we might not. When you'll find out. 22 panels will be back next week, and possibly in between. So for Jonathan, Hannah, Callum, Peter, and Phil. This has been 22 Panels, and we will see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.